G'day folks and welcome to the Vookcast, Australia's Nintendo podcast. My name's Oliver Brandt and in this episode I'm joined by Angelo Valdivia,
Hey, paisanos.
Michael Goncalves,
Hey, Tim.
and Luke Henderson.
Hello there.
We have a very big episode. We are very glad that we didn't record last weekend because we would have missed out on half the stuff that's on here, but that would also probably lead to a shorter show. So we have so much to go through. There was the fake E3 season just between the last episode and this one. So there are dozens and dozens of announcements, especially because the Switch 2 can now run games that other consoles can run. So there's even more than usual. But let's get started with some Square Enix stuff because there's quite a bit of that, and there'll be more later in the show, I think. Dragon Quest 12. This was like the earliest by far of the things that were announced, but Dragon Quest 12 has restarted.
I feel like this was so long ago.
Yeah, it's like it was a month
This happened like 4 months ago.
So Dragon Quest 12 has restarted development. So it was originally announced like back in May 2021, and they said that it was going to be a darker, more gritty, more mature Dragon Quest game. That has gone out the window. They restarted development entirely. Has a new look, a new subtitle, which is Beyond Dreams. And there's still no release window, but given that we saw like actual gameplay of it, I can't imagine it's too far off. I'd say a couple years.
Why would you say that out loud?
It's not going to be
2038.
the only time I say that during this. But yeah, so we got a look at the new protagonist, who everyone is a little bit iffy on. He's got a bit of a weird design. I kind of like it, but yeah. There's like a dragon guy that seems to join your party or is the protagonist. Nobody's really quite sure. Yeah, there's all sorts of fun stuff here. I think it looks really good. I think as far as Dragon Quest games go, I mean, it's probably not what everybody was hoping for when Dragon Quest 12 was first announced, because this just looks like a slightly prettier Dragon Quest 11. But I mean,
I think people are expecting a release date for this game.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Metroid Prime 4 situation, right, where they just had to restart development entirely, which makes sense, like, given we hadn't heard about it, and like there was a massive shakeup at Square Enix in regards to leadership and direction. So
they're also probably taking all the NFTs out of it.
I mean, yeah, Square definitely did go
Square
really
Enix was
hard.
all about that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, the NFTs are just replaced with AI generated art, so it's okay.
Okay. Fixes the problem.
So this will likely be the last game release that has any kind of involvement with Toriyama, the Dragon Ball creator, because he sadly passed away last year before.
Yeah, about a year ago.
2024, I think.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But this, he did contribute designs to this. We don't know exactly what he designed, but he did contribute some designs to this. So, yeah. I mean, there's not really much to talk about this. It's coming to Switch too. We know that for sure. But
well, just one thing to point out. So, presumably, if this game does come out in at least, if we're being optimistic, 2 years, it'll be a decade between Dragon Quest, like mainline games, right?
Yep.
11 was 2017 when it first came out.
Yep. So
dang.
Wasn't it a little bit earlier than that? Because it was 3DS.
Maybe.
I don't recall it. I think it might have been 2015.
No. It was definitely 2017. I'm pretty sure.
It was somewhere around then, and then we got the
had
Switch
some
version,
type
like
of
2019.
internet.
Yeah.
July 2017.
July 2017. Yeah. It was also
crazy.
Dragon Quest 11 was the first game announced for the Switch. It was back when it was still called, it was back when it was still called Project NX, and Square Enix was the company that was allowed to announce that they were developing a game for it. So it was the first ever game announced for it.
That's
before
interesting.
It was even called the Switch.
That's funny because it didn't even come to Switch initially, right?
Yeah, no, it didn't. It was on 3DS and PS4 initially, and then they remade it essentially for Switch like a year later.
No surprise, they're remaking it for Switch too. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's a segue.
Speaking of that, Dragon Quest 11S is coming to the Switch 2 on September 24th, which would be really cool if it was in any way sensibly handled. So it is literally just a resolution and frame rate boost. There is no new content, so it's just those things. There is no save file transfer between the Switch 1 version and the Switch 2 version, and there is no upgrade path or conditional discount for going from the Switch 1 version to the Switch
That's
2.
crazy.
So if
Yeah.
you own the Switch 1 version of this game, you have to start over and pay like $55?
Yeah, 54.95 Australian.
$55 to play the Switch 2 version of this game. It is completely fucking bonkers that this is how they've handled it, but it's not the only thing that they've handled this way, as we will discuss in a little bit.
I will say though, with the conditional discount stuff, we've seen games that haven't had it, and then when the game's launched, it's had the conditional discount.
So this
it's
is something
not
that we saw with Sea of Stars, where it didn't have the conditional discount on the eShop beforehand, and then did when it actually launched. We'll see
But
how
also,
this goes.
We haven't seen that from Square though.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that we haven't seen it from Square. So we'll see. The other one that we're about to talk about in a second has been confirmed not to have an upgrade path, rather than we just don't know. So that's exciting. But yeah, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I want to play this again. I want to play this game because I was thinking recently, like, oh yeah, I could play through Dragon Quest 11 again. And a higher resolution, 60 FPS would be nice, but I'm not going to pay $55 for a game that I spent $55 on to get a higher resolution and frame rate. Like,
just play it on Switch 2 in boosted mode. You'll be fine.
Exactly. I mean,
the
that's
Switch,
right?
1 game in boosted mode on Switch 2. I mean,
yeah,
it's not a bad call.
Yeah, it's what I don't understand it. And speaking of things I don't understand, Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remaster is also getting a Switch 2 version that also does not have an upgrade path. Now, they are adding new things, which is some small bonus. There was a PC version of the game that came out after all of the console versions of the game that had things like double the battle speed, disable random encounters, a whole bunch more stuff that just like made quality of life in the game much better. You can also, like, there's options for just like giving you all of the spheres that you need for the sphere grid and stuff like that. So it is like actual upgrades. Unfortunately, there is no save transfer. There's no discount for existing owners. That has been confirmed as well. That's not just they haven't spoken about it. So yeah, again, another one that I would really love to play. I mean, this is even worse in terms of like, as far as upgrades go, because like, yeah, you do get the additional previously PC exclusive stuff, but like that stuff should have been ported to older versions of the game anyway. And what you're getting here, because Final Fantasy X and X-2 cannot run at 60 FPS, because all of the, like, literally the entire game logic is based on 30 FPS. This will be like a 1440p at 30 FPS, which like it already runs at like 1080p or 720p, handheld or docked. And if you do boost mode, you're already getting 1080p 30 FPS in handheld mode. So all you're paying for here is the PC version exclusive features, which is not worth it. It's just not. So yeah, really strange decisions, and it will be even more strange when we get to something much later on, because Square Enix is on its bullshit. But yeah, there is a lot more going on. I think that's listed somewhere down here. Let me see.
Just topic 478 on the call sheet.
I actually don't think it has a listing. We've got the newly announced game, but the collection isn't on the run sheet.
No, I'd left that off.
Okay, then we can talk about it here. Kingdom Hearts 1 to 3 is coming to
everyone buckle up.
That's why I left it off, because I knew Ollie was going to mention it anyway.
Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts 1 to 3 is coming to the Switch 2. There is a demo for Kingdom Hearts 3 available right now. It's a really weird port in that, like, things that should run really well run poorly, and then things that should run poorly run well. I'm assuming it's just an optimization thing, and they're not done with it yet. It's coming, what, in October? October 3rd. But there is an upgrade path for people who bought the cloud versions of the game. So if you bought any cloud, I mean, this doesn't really apply to Australians because it was never officially available here. But if you bought any cloud version of a Kingdom Hearts game on Switch, then you get a 50% discount on all of the Kingdom Hearts games native on Switch too.
And your save file will transfer over.
Yeah, and your save file will transfer over. So Square Enix is clearly capable of doing this. They just choose not to for Dragon Quest XI and Final Fantasy X. But I mean, I obviously I'm gonna buy.
And it's not even transferring the save file on the console. It's like it's in the cloud.
Yeah,
Like
they like
even more
set up
complicated.
a specific system because it's like the cloud version is just a PC version of the game, right? So they have to have been like they have to do some sort of save file passing in order to make it work on the Switch too. So
That's crazy. Like, what a crazy set of announcements coming out of Square Enix. Just like stepping on rakes in every direction. And we're just like, oh, here's Kingdom Hearts 3. We kind of did good on this one.
I think the most annoying part is that you can't ever predict about like what is going to happen, right? Like it may have save file transfers, it may get an upgrade path, it may not, it may get a really expensive upgrade path, it may get a free one. Like, just fucking pick a lane. God damn.
yeah.
But also, it's not like they're like a third party developer like picking these up and don't have like the rights or the contracts or whatever to touch on the older source files or anything. Like they own all of these IPs and the development files and everything. Like they can fix a lot of these problems themselves very easily.
And these weren't like outsourced ports to begin with either. Like these were all done in house. So
that's the point.
I don't understand why they're doing this other than just like greed or laziness.
Yeah, like the Final Fantasy X thing, like that's crazy. Just to quote unquote like remaster it or something like that. I don't know. It's just insane.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. I will say the collection for Kingdom Hearts 1 to 3, which has 7 fully playable games and then like 5 movies essentially. It is very reasonably priced. It's $115 and you get the entire series, which is like it previously the all-in-one collection was like $145, so $115 is a really really good price. Or you can buy each of them individually, each of the 3 collections individually for $60 a pop, but that's just don't do that.
There's a weird issue with the Switch 1 version of HD 1.5 and HD 1.5 2.5. Fuck me life, whatever the fuck it's called. God damn it. On the eShop where it's listed as 541 gigabytes.
Yeah,
Which is
they
just
meant to write
incredible.
54.1 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And they just forgot the decimal point, so it's listed at 541 gigabytes.
It's just
Which-
uncompressed, raw, like 4K footage of all the FMVs.
Yeah.
They just put all of Disneyland on the SD card for you.
But yeah, I'm obviously very excited about Kingdom Hearts. I own this on every platform that exists except the cloud versions on Switch 1 because I'm not stupid.
And you will own them again on the
I
next
will own them
platform.
again.
Yeah, because he's not stupid.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, the cloud versions of it are shutting down.
Which
like,
makes
Who could have
sense.
foreseen that a cloud-based game would shut down and people would lose access to them?
I
We
do
were
think
talking about this in the Discord though. Like, if you are shutting down the cloud version, you should give people that own the cloud version the game for free.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that's not even unreasonable to me.
That said, I did see people complaining that the cloud version was shutting down, and that's like, what did you expect to happen? Like, when you bought these games, there's literally a disclaimer on the eShop saying like, oh yeah, this will shut down. We'll give you at least 6 months notice. Like, you had to have known that it would not be around forever. Like, I understand that like when it shuts down, it will have only been available for like 2.5 years, but like even still, like it's a cloud version. You knew what you were getting into. I do think they should get the game for free. Like there's no reason that they couldn't have done that because they can do conditional discounts, as we know. But yeah, just whatever. Square Enix is genuinely like one of the dumbest developers when it comes to the Switch 2, because like they have been so inconsistent with everything. Like some stuff is Switch 2 editions, some stuff isn't Switch 2 editions but has a conditional discount and upgrade path. Some of it is just like a free upgrade that is like a Switch 2 aware version of the game. Like they have taken every approach, and none of them have been handled well. So
The problem is they'll do something that is just you go, oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want from them. They make a decision and it makes perfect sense to everybody, and then the next decision they make, you spend like 6 months and 14 dictionaries trying to understand the logic behind it all.
yeah, when Dragon Quest XI-S was like announced to be coming to Switch 2, like my Blue Sky feed was like just a glut of, oh shit, that's awesome, and then like 5 minutes later, what the fuck? Why are they charging me for this? So yeah. Anyway, we can't spend too long on that. We already have. So more news. Call of Duty. After the contract that Microsoft signed saying that they would bring it to Nintendo consoles. 3 years ago at this point that was. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 was announced, and it is coming to Switch 2 the same day as everyone else. So it's the first Call of Duty game on a Nintendo console in 12 years. And it features all of the modes from the other consoles. This version was co-developed by Digital Legends, which is an internal Activision studio who created Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, which lasted 14 months before it was killed off. And like I posted this in the Vook Slack, where it's like you can tell exactly the point where they started working on the Switch 2 port of Modern Warfare 4, because like it was like 12 months ago, 14 months ago, when they announced that they were like stopping work on Warzone Mobile. So
It was May 2025.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, Modern Warfare 4, I mean, like, honestly, fuck Microsoft, but it does look like a decent game. The story is set in Korea, which is a really bold choice. Like, it's an actual like war between North and South Korea, which is not something I thought a game would ever really touch on. The story does look really interesting, if not completely batshit insane, but I mean, it's Call of Duty, so what do you expect? And they are doing like really interesting stuff with like movement. They've like gotten rid of bloom, which is a really wild thing to do in a shooter, like weapon bloom. But yeah. I mean, it's Call of Duty. It's going to be on Switch too. I don't know.
I hope everyone has bought the SD Express cards. This is going to take up your entire internal storage to download.
Well, even that's kind of a minefield to try and navigate at this point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's also coming with the full version of DMZ, which is their extraction shooter game mode, I guess.
yeah, it's not battle royale that's hot anymore now. It's all extraction shooters.
Yeah.
It's almost like it is a trend that game companies are trying to chase.
Yeah. I mean, it works so well for Bungie, so like, why not put it in Call of Duty?
Oh, and Sony in general, they're really raking in the dough.
Yeah.
I mean, they are, but not from that.
I mean, yeah.
But I'm happy that Call of Duty is finally coming, and it's not some weird like, redheaded stepchild version of
Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I always thought Call of Duty Mobile would have just made sense on Switch,
Yeah.
given the breadth of mobile devices it supported. But yeah,
Well, I'm surprised we just don't have Warzone in general on Switch. It's
Yeah.
everywhere else.
well, the funny thing is when this game launches, like Call of Duty is basically dropping support for PS4 and Xbox One at the same time, and dropping Warzone. So it's like adding Warzone to Switch 2 would have made sense to have it there, but
Well, I'm really
The thing
curious
is
about
that-
how they're going to handle this, because on every other console, it's like one big like unified Call of Duty launcher.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's going to be really weird if you like load into the Call of Duty launcher and like just Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is the only thing that's available to you.
That's exactly how it happens in Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Shadows,
True.
you go into that launcher and you can see
Yeah.
all the other games from since they restarted the series, and you can't play them. So it's just
Yeah.
funny.
Well, that's kind of what I was about to get at with what Marco was saying about getting a new SD card and stuff. It's like Call of Duty is just full of bloat. Like that app is just constantly filled with updates. It just takes up so much hard drive space.
Yep.
Like if you want to play Call of Duty, you can only install Call of Duty basically. And then, as soon as you're done playing with it, just get that thing out of your life.
Yeah. I mean, I think on the other consoles you can choose whether to download like the multiplayer component. So like you can choose.
Oh, you can,
Yeah,
but it
you
is
can.
but it is constantly still downloading updates.
Oh yeah,
regardless.
for sure. Yeah, it's going to be.
And it's still like even whatever base like game you choose, it's still like 100 gigabytes, like min. Like it's still huge.
But yeah, so if you're interested in Call of Duty, now you can play it. I have no doubts that this is going to run just flawlessly.
Yeah, that should run really well.
I had it running at like a completely locked 60 FPS on last gen consoles, and like the Xbox One X even had a 120 FPS mode. So like it is not a concern at all that this is going to run well.
If nothing else, Call of Duties tend to be like ridiculously optimized. Pretty much every platform they run easily at 60 FPS.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt that the engine itself, like the Infinity Ward, who are developing this year's release, they've got a studio in Poland who do nothing but work on that engine.
Yeah.
So they've spent years honing that engine to be the best it can be. So, and the engine is only ever used for Call of Duty. It's not like the EA engine or Unreal where it has to cover everything. It's just a first-person shooter engine. So, yeah, they've done their work, and now they get the rewards from it.
Moving on, a couple small things. Mario Kart World has been added to Nintendo Music, and you can also CarPlay or Android Auto, or a web player. There's a web player in Nintendo Music now as well.
Neat.
So, yeah, I mean it's cool that you can that you can use it normally in like CarPlay or Android Auto.
Yeah, but I'm saying that because my partner and I use CarPlay and Android Auto for our stuff, and still not great. Still not great to use. And the downside, what I really don't like about a lot of these CarPlay and Android Auto apps is like, and I get it's a safety feature, but you can only use them. You can only use voice to search for things. If like for Apple Music, for example, whenever I just want to listen to a specific song or a specific album, you have to use voice. And even then, you can't select what song within an album you want to listen to. It'll play like one or two songs from the album, and then it'll just move on to another album or something. So it just keeps like generating like just a random playlist for you. I'm hoping, like, we haven't used Nintendo Music that much, but I'm hoping that, it doesn't kind of screw you around like that like whatever music you manage to actually find that you're looking for, like it will just stick with that one playlist or that one album or whatever. So
hopefully
it's fine that it has those features, but like it's not great.
Reports are that it's supposed to be pretty good with the car stuff, but I did laugh when they put the
Brad were using it.
When they put the video out, which is I've got playing now. They're talking about how it's now on tablets or iPads, and the big call is like, with a bigger screen, you can see more of the music. It's like, okay.
I love seeing music.
It is kind of wild that there was no like tablet version of the app previously. Like, imagine launching a music app that just like you can't use on an iPad or an Android tablet. Like that is...
Well, especially if you have an iPad or something for your kid, and that's the only device that they have up until the age that they can get a phone.
Did they have I can't remember if this is a flag you need to tick. You can have the compatibility mode where you can just use the iPhone app. And
it was. You could.
It was there, but
it
just
looked
did
like
that weird thing where it like sat in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, it does a scaling thing.
Yeah.
But when you had when I had my iPad locked, the Apple Music, the Nintendo Music app would still have like the full screen playback stuff. But when you're on the app itself, it was just that weird thing. But yeah.
But hey, there's also a web player, so anything that has a web browser, you can just listen to it.
Look, the only issue I found with the web browser it's a little slow to start playing. Like it's not. I hit play and it doesn't like start playing. It takes like a few seconds, which in the grand scheme of things is not a huge issue. But I just imagine that some web-enabled devices may have issues with that.
I mean, the first thing that I did, because I thought it was funny, is I booted up my Xbox and went to the browser and on my Xbox Series X and loaded up Nintendo Music, and it works fine. So yeah.
I wonder if it works on the
background
PS3
playback.
web browser.
I mean, maybe. I don't think the PS3 browser supports HTML5, so
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably the problem.
yeah. Also, there's a whole bunch of new Pokemon Lego. Just so much. There's like 12 sets. They're all compatible with the Smart Brick, the new Lego Smart Brick thing that makes stupid noises. And only 2 of them actually come with the Smart Brick. The rest don't have one, but that's also probably good because sets with it are expensive. All of them also look like total shit. None of the Lego Pokemon sets that they've announced look even halfway decent. I mean, the Mewtwo one is like kind of okay, but even that is like not
Yeah, the
Great.
Mewtwo one is by far the best, and
Yeah.
that all look like I don't know what the styling of this stuff is. It's just super weird. Like
Yeah.
the Jolteon and the Jolteon set looks like what the fuck is happening. That is real weird. Charizard looks okay in that set.
Yeah. I mean, the only one that they've like announced that actually looks kind of decent. Oh, I mean, they haven't announced it. It's been leaked. There's a Rayquaza one coming as well, and it looks really, really good. And it's like, I saw that and I was like, well, why the fuck? Why the fuck don't the other ones look that good? Like, it's bonkers. They all look bad, and like we've had like fucking Mega Bricks has been making Pokemon stuff for years, and that stuff looks incredible. So like, it's wild that like Lego, which like, you know, the original, the best, just doing a much worse job in design than Mega Bloks. Although I imagine part of that is because they have like the brick rule, right, where like you can't use more than 2 like unique bricks or whatever per set.
Yeah, I've seen a few of these sets that have a bunch of unique things outside of the eye ones where they print the eyes on them.
Yeah.
But the Lapras one, Lapras, yeah, that looks fine.
Yeah, Lapras
Lapras
looks
looks
good.
okay.
The Eevee on that looks kind of dumb, but like Lapras itself is kind of cute.
Anything that has
Even the Pokeball doesn't look like a Pokeball.
yeah.
Yeah, Quaxley's head, whatever the fuck it is, that looks cursed. I do not like.
I noticed anything that's like Bulbasaur, Squirtle, they all have like basically just like an oblong body shape and then like a head or tail on it, and that's the end of it. Look, I mean, they were never for us, even though I would have thought Pokemon would have made more money selling them to, you know, adult fans, but I did hear some audio from them, and I hoped that they were just the Game Boy chiptune style things, and even they're not that. They're just general noises, which lines up with what Smart Play's doing, but at the same time, it's like, unlike the
It's
stuff,
like,
which
hey, I'm Quaxley here.
They just like scream. They scream.
yeah. So the Star Wars stuff, they don't use the right sound effects, but I put it down to it's essentially, if you picked up a toy X-wing and you were like, as a kid, I'm gonna fly, and you'd make the noise. That's what they sort of did for the Star Wars stuff.
Oh my god.
But you know what I mean? Like,
That is some good shit.
Sorry, I sent a
Jesus.
picture of like the Jigglypuff with without its face on, because you have to take its face off to
put the brick in.
smart brick
Yeah.
in. That's like an official picture that they put out, and it's the most horrifying thing I've ever seen.
You know,
It's a Five
you guys
Nights at
watch
Freddy's picture.
you guys watch the HBO Westworld? You know when like their faces come off? Like that's what that looks like.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
it's-
the smart brick stuff, it's good, but it's not what it should be. But I will say the fact that like the Jigglypuff one is $25 is the surprising thing. Like, it's very cheap. Not that it's great to look at on its own.
Yeah, but that's because it's like 6 pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, I don't know. None of this looks great. I'm glad I don't have to spend money on it.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Atari has been busy. So Atari, in its modern form, is just like run by a dude that really likes retro games. So he's just been like buying up the rights to release retro games. Because of that, we are getting Toy Story Retro Roundup, which is a whole bunch of classic Toy Story games, and A Bug's Life.
Which is just the funniest part ever.
It's the PS1 A Bug's Life, and it's so fucking good. It's one of my favorite games on the PS1. I'm so
The best thing is somebody cropped out that PS1, the Bugs Life thing, and now people are just sticking it on all sorts of box arts.
Yeah.
It's like Fable Legend, Fable the reboot plus A Bug's Life.
Yeah. But no, A Bug's Life, so excited about that. I don't know why it's in the Toy Story collection, but I'm not complaining. Yeah, Digital Eclipse, of course, are doing the work here. So there's like interviews from former developers, stuff like that, which is good. Digital Eclipse is a great company. They have had a couple misses, but for the most part, a lot of hits. There's also Toy Story 3 Complete Edition, which is like a full remaster of Toy Story 3, which was like the proto Disney Infinity. So yeah, lots of cool stuff in there. You can buy them in one package or just separately.
So I've got the trailer playing, and they have the things for the Toy Story collection, and it's like they show it, and then just the Bugs Life just slides in.
Yeah, the Bug's Life, plus A Bug's Life just like slides in from the side. It's very funny, but I'm super keen on it. Yeah.
The real thing that's cool about the Toy Story 3 Complete is that it has all the previously PS3 only content included.
Yep.
For whatever reason, this was back when like, you know, buying a game from one retailer got you one piece of content, and then buying it from another one got another piece of content. So this has all of that stuff in one thing, which is really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, super keen about this. Go on.
Two things. I just nearly had a stroke for a second there because I'm watching this trailer and they had Jim Hanks. And I'm like, damn, life's been rough for Tom Hanks. And I looked at them and I'm like, oh my God, it's Jim Hanks? I didn't know there was two of these guys.
So-
it looks exactly like him. But
Yeah,
but
his
like,
brother
if
does
he was in it.
all the
Yeah.
voices for the toys and everything.
Yeah, but I didn't realize. So he looks like Tom Hanks if Tom Hanks was like out of Breaking Bad or something. Like, it's insane.
Oh my god!
I really hope Jim Hanks doesn't listen
Meth
to this
Hanks.
podcast.
I just couldn't believe it. Like it was crazy. Anyway, the other thing is, I really hope that the PS1 games that they're bringing over here also include the FMVs from the movies. Because to me, as a non-PlayStation person back in like 1998, 1999, that was the best thing about these games. When I go to friends' houses and play their burnt copies of them, is that like we'd sit there and we'd just be watching clips from Bug's Life, and I'm like, man, this movie's not even out on VHS yet. This is insane.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, it's like the complete versions of them, so we'll have all of it. Like they've properly
I hope so,
licensed all of.
Because they didn't come to the N64 versions for obvious reasons, because
Yeah.
they couldn't store them on the cartridges.
Excuses. Resident Evil did it.
You're right. That's not wrong.
Um,
But man, Jim Hanks, that's wild.
but this is off the back of the Rugrats collection that was announced previously, which is out now, I think, right?
Yeah, it came out a couple months or so ago, maybe now, like
Yeah.
mid
like-
late May.
It was a late May, yeah. So yeah, that's cool. More Atari stuff.
Atari also did the Disney Afternoon collection. They finally brought that to Switch 2 or Switch and Switch 2.
Yeah.
And they also did the Rayman 30th anniversary release earlier in the year, and then Mortal Kombat last year. And not that most people care, but all these games are full game releases on Switch 2. They're not game key cards; they're full releases. So
Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. That is getting remastered for the Switch 2. I played the hell out of this as a kid. And it looks great. It looks just genuinely wonderful. So very keen about that. It's a silly game. It's an extraordinarily silly game, but I think
It
if
really
you make
is.
a Godzilla fighting game in 3D space, you kind of have to make it as silly as possible.
I mean, the fact if you make a Godzilla game, period, you have to make it as silly as possible.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's coming on November 3rd. Barbie Rewind Collection has 16 Barbie titles from Game Boy, PS1, GBA, and PC. Only half of the games have been announced so far, including.
I didn't even see this announcement. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, including a previously completed but never released game. And between games, you can collect things for your Barbie dream house. Yeah, items coming from 65 plus years of the character. Yeah, really cool stuff. Like, obviously, we are not the target audience for Barbie Rewind. But
Brother,
yeah, I mean, I played the shit out of it.
look who you're talking to.
Can you not speak for me, please?
But yeah.
I just think it's hilarious that so whenever Digital Eclipse or anyone does these sort of collections, it's always like, oh, here's all the SNES and PS1 games, or here's the GBA or Game Boy Color games, and that's it. This one is Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, PlayStation. Like, it's everything. It's not just like, here's the Barbie pre-1995
I'm gonna
games.
assume maybe the Barbie licensing is cheaper than the Pixar licensing.
I would assume so too. Well, that's the thing. There hasn't been many Pixar games after, after like the Toy Story stuff. A lot of the Pixar stuff didn't get games again. They sort of stopped for a while. So
All right, so I needed to. I just watched this trailer for this Barbie collection, and I needed to make sure that Barbie Race and Ride is in here, and it is, and I'm very, very happy.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I actually played the crap out of this game. Like,
There you go,
for a good,
Atari.
like, 3 weeks.
That's one purchase confirmed.
Yeah. And the other Atari thing is that Thief Dark Project Remastered is coming later this year to Switch 2, and everything else. Includes all additional missions and content from the Thief Gold release, and also supports decades of fan-made content on PC. It will probably be like a couple other collections that we've seen where like some of them will become available on console as well. We'll have to see how that goes. All the
I love
textures and
Thief.
models have been updated. It runs in 4K on everything but Switch, because obviously the Switch can't do 4K. Um,
Hiding in Thief is so funny because you can be like in a fully lit room, but there's a shadow from like a barrel, and you're in the shadow, and they're like, "Where's the guy?"
yeah,
It was funny though because this was in the PC gaming show, and I had the show up, and I still remember the very first one for that when E3 was a thing, and I was sitting in the room, and they had a couch like with an Oprah Winfrey talk show, and after about half an hour, I went, "I'm fucking bored of this thing," and I left. It was so bad. It hasn't gotten any better. But during all the interstitials where they're having, they're trying to make jokes about it, whatever they're doing, I stopped paying attention. I start doing stuff, and then I heard the voice, and I'm like, "That sounds like Thief," and it wasn't because I wasn't actively paying attention to the screen. And then it was Thief, and I was like, "Okay, you have my attention for another few minutes." That's how good Thief is. It brought me back to focus on the PC gaming show.
Yeah. So yeah, Atari doing some really fantastic shit. I hope they keep at it. There are so many games that were phenomenal in this era that we need to see more of.
They also, and I don't know why, but they also did a Switch 2 version recently of the Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2 collection that came out like 18 months ago on Switch.
Yeah. That wasn't even like really announced. That just kind of released.
Yeah, it was just like, this is on the eShop now. So
I assume it has mouse-con support. That'll be the big reason.
Don't remember.
I believe it does, yeah.
Yeah, I would hope so. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I kind of think this is like the best way for Atari to continue forward is to kind of be like a GOG, but like, kind of on steroids.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, GOG for consoles, and also they have money to actually buy licenses for shit.
Yeah, but then also just like collate a lot of these games into collections, get digital clips on board to kind of like make like a little...
Well, they own digital clips.
Exactly, to make like a digital museum of some of these games and things. Like, I think that's probably the best way for them to go forward, rather than to try to like, make the next big, extraction shooter or something like that. Just do something that no one else is really doing and be that legacy publisher.
Hey, you can make an extraction shooter out of these licenses. Just saying. Just get in there.
Yeah. Could you imagine a Barbie race and ride extraction shooter?
One other thing.
That'd be sick.
One other thing that I really like about Digital Eclipse, a couple of the people from Digital Eclipse are very active on Era, and one of the things that they have at their studio is that they have a policy for no generative AI in development. So they do not use generative AI in assets. They do not use it for coding. They do not use it to just like Google shit. They do not use generative AI at all in the studio. It is a policy. So yeah, really, really good shit. More developers need to do that, by the way.
They also need to go right back to their roots and just start like mandating heavy drug use in their offices and stuff. I think that would be really, really good for them.
Yeah. That is how most of these
in their water supply.
Yeah.
Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is coming to Switch 2 in September. It was like delayed like a couple weeks before it was supposed to come out.
No. So when it was announced last year, when they gave the date, they said, and Switch 2 coming after that. Like all the other platforms got their date at the same time, and then Switch 2 was just like coming afterwards, and they just never said about when it was coming until like 2 days after the game launched. They're like, by the way, the Switch 2 version is coming in September.
That's coming on September 18. By all accounts, it's pretty decent. It's a Lego game. It's a Batman game. It's pretty good. Another one that was delayed, Elden Ring Tarnished Edition is finally getting a release on Switch 2. One of the things that was announced in the Switch 2 Direct, the first Switch 2 Direct, was Elden Ring.
In the full reveal Direct, this was in there.
Yeah. So this was meant to be out last year, and then it was delayed to early 2026, and now it's coming out in August, which is not early 2026, but I mean, hey, maybe From Software is just a bit confused on that. Who knows? So the game will include the Tarnished Edition content, which other platforms will get on the same day. Includes the base game and the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion, and it's expensive. It's pretty expensive.
Yay!
But I mean, it's the same price as it is on other. Like if you were to buy the base game and the DLC at full price, tomorrow on Steam or PS5 or Xbox, like it would cost the same as what you're paying for this now. And it's Bandai Namco, so like it will only be a couple months before they start discounting it on the eShop anyway. Not much more to say about that either. Donkey Kong.
I will just say,
Yeah, go on.
I with the Tarnished Edition stuff, like when they said, "Oh, that's going to come to the other platforms," I would have assumed that Switch 2 would have had that for at least a day before they gave it to everyone else. But no, it's day and date for everyone, and it's like, well, yeah.
And in terms of Nintendo Switch Online, Donkey Kong 64 is now available on that, and it does a better job than most emulators because it actually does correct like slowdown and where necessary, where parts of the game are necessary to work like that. So yeah, they've done a really good job.
The best Donkey Kong game.
Yeah. It's so good that they just kept on making 3D Donkey Kongs for the entire time.
This is one of my like childhood red pills, right? Where like this was the first Donkey Kong game that I played. So like this is Donkey Kong to me in my head. Even though it is like, awful.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I was like genuinely concerned that you were being serious then.
I mean, I enjoyed playing it as a child, like as a kid, like it just, as in plenty of other games, but no.
Donkey Kong 64 is how I got the expansion pack and how I could then play Perfect Dark.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it does have some issues, as every emulated version of this game does. There is no emulated version of Donkey Kong 64 that does not have issues. This is better than most, but still not perfect. So it'll probably get better with time, as every other Nintendo Switch Online release has.
Also noticed the release of this game kicked off. I don't know why this game did it. It kicked off another round of like, holy shit, Nintendo, can we please remove the gray bars from the side of our game? Which is great. Like I love that it keeps coming up. I don't know why it just happened again, but I was like,
well, I think it's because DK64 has a widescreen mode, so people are like, just let us have no bars, regardless of whether or not we use the widescreen mode.
Can you turn the widescreen mode on?
Yeah.
Doesn't remove the bars with widescreen mode?
It does remove the bars.
Like sorry, that's what he's trying to say. Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah. Cool, I understand.
People are saying like, oh yeah, if you can like remove the bars for the purpose of doing widescreen mode, just let us remove the bars. Which obviously.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're like an hour into this, and
we're getting there.
We're getting to the actual.
No, we're like 35 minutes in.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we're pretty sure.
Doing good time, guys.
We sped through that stuff pretty quick for us.
Yeah, I mean now there's like 60 other things to talk about, so let's get stuck into this. We'll start with the non-direct stuff. So like there was a bunch of stuff that was announced before the direct happened.
Yeah.
Through various other shows and stuff throughout fake E3.
Announced, leaked, whatever.
Yeah. Sometimes leaked then announced, like within minutes of each other. So Rayman Legends Retold, a remake of Rayman Legends, coming to Switch 2 on October 1st. I don't know why it's getting a remake, but hey.
It's one of those games where like, the remake looks nice, but like it had such a nice 2D art style already. I'm like, that would have been so nice to get like remastered in like 4K, but whatever.
Well, so like the second game was already in 3D and it got a re-release or a remaster like 6-7 years ago or something like 6, 7. But Legends, I feel like had to do that. I feel like Origins could really have done with a proper remake. Like that should have got that should have gotten the retold treatment.
Well, it's getting a remaster at least, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like the 2D art style is fantastic, like the actual 2D hand drawn art style. So like, I get that that's great, but it could be cool to touch it up with some like proper lighting effects and nice like 3D rendered backgrounds or something.
See, this is the thing, right? Is that like Rayman Legends would have been better as a remaster, and Rayman Origins would have been better as a remake, but they've just done it in the exact opposite order, and I don't really get it.
It's very weird.
But
what's even weirder is Legends obviously was a Wii U title originally, and then they ported it to others, and this is the ported version. So Murphy, who you would interact with on the Wii U tablet to control him, is now just the button press again. And when I was playing this at Ubisoft and I was talking with the rep there, they didn't know the Wii U version was how you controlled Murphy, and they didn't know that was the original. So they were surprised that you didn't have to press a button to like have him slice ropes and stuff. Because that was the thing, like with when you had to cut ropes, if you cut it wrong, you would end up with like one super long piece and one short piece, and you couldn't make the jump. So yeah, they were surprised that they've gone and just brought this over. Like they didn't do anything different to that stuff. It's the same thing, just with a fancier look. I will say though, the game does have the UbiArt framework running on top of the Snowdrop engine. So it's kind of like the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse style, where you've got the 3D and then you've got like the pencil lines on top, so to speak. So for that, like, because I've seen a lot more than what they've shown here, obviously. It does look really, really cool when you see that, but this trailer doesn't really do much to give you a sense that that's happening. So
we also have Tomb Raider: Legacy of Atlantis coming to Switch 2 on February 12th. This has been mired in controversy because the studio head is just kind of dumb and like saying no, we're definitely going all in on AI, and then the actual developers on the game are saying I don't know what the hell he's talking about, so who the hell knows what's going on. Genuinely, this looks weird, and also like they've said in interviews and shit that like this is going to respect the canon of both the original trilogy, despite being a remake essentially of the first game. But so it's respecting that canon and also the canon of the Survive trilogy, which like I don't understand how both of those things could be true.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's actually possible.
Cannot be. So yeah, I mean, good luck to them. It looks fine. I have no strong thoughts about this. Michael, I know that you're a Tomb Raider fan.
Yeah, like I don't know. I really enjoyed like the new trilogy, whatever you want to call it, like so much. And I don't know, it feels like a little bit of a step back, but I guess we'll see. Like I'll reserve my harsh judgment until it comes out.
I can only imagine that this was done as a means to make sure their engine was going to work for their new stuff. Kind of like how Wind Waker HD was sort of came out of that prototype. It's the only thing I can imagine.
I don't believe you would bring that up right now. Because
the only reason I can think this game exists is for that purpose. Because this is the second time they've remade that game, and I don't know if Tomb Raider, as fun as the Tomb Raider games can be, I don't think the original game deserves two completely different remakes.
But
I mean, Halo would like a
it's going to bridge the original trilogy to the Survive trilogy, despite the fact that literally cannot happen.
Halo would like a word
origin stories.
But yeah. But well, I almost argue against it because I think this is a completely different treatment to what like a traditional, well, not even a traditional remake. Like this is a full-fledged remake in the sense that like it is completely redone from the ground up, has completely new voice acting. I'd argue it's got completely different level design. Like everything seems to be taking not just pages but like volumes out of like the Uncharted book of how to make an adventure platforming puzzle game or whatever. So I think it's like we get a lot of the times, like series just tend to influence each other. So we have this like push and pull with like the Uncharted series. Now that we're not getting new Uncharted games, I feel like this is really going to properly fill the void. Where I feel like the older, I say older, but I mean like the more recent Tomb Raider trilogy sort of tried to do that in itself while Uncharted was around, but it never quite achieved that. Like it really just fell short. It almost became like a Lara Croft like torture simulator in some respects. Whereas this game really does seem to focus on adventure and puzzling and just really cool environments. Whereas the more recent Tomb Raider trilogy was a lot more like, oh man, let's just put Lara Croft in the most effed up situations ever. Let's just make her like a stone cold killer. Let's just lather her up in mud and get her like stalking her prey and like hunting people down and stuff, rather than just being about like actually adventuring. I mean, yeah, it's fun. It's fun, don't get me wrong. But like, as far as like a kind of like a female Indiana Jones type character is sort of supposed to kind of be a little more lighthearted in the same respects that like an Indiana Jones is supposed to be, or be about adventure, or be about cool environments, or just ridiculous over the top situations. I feel like this is kind of hitting the mark a little more for me.
In the reboot series, she's more like Dutch from Predator.
Kind of. It's just a lot darker, and like there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine because there were great games in their own respects. But I don't know. I'm just more. I like fun adventure type movies rather than like hard, harsh, like gritty kind of adventure films. So, yeah, I'm a basic bitch, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, more remakes. Resident Evil Veronica, which is a remake of Veronica, is coming to Switch 2 day and date with everything else, of course, as Capcom does now. This is really cool. Code Veronica is like one of those really underrated titles. It's a really, really phenomenal game, but like because it's kind of like a little out of the way of the main series, like nobody really pays much attention to it.
It was it originally launched on Dreamcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a Dreamcast exclusive.
I'm pretty sure it got a PC
it's
port
funny
a while
'cause-
later.
Yeah, it got a GameCube
Yeah.
port. Yeah.
It's funny
You know, when
because
they did
my
the whole
partner.
the Capcom GameCube, like every Resident Evil game that ever existed was ported to GameCube.
It's funny because my partner put this up on the TV for us the other day. And I wasn't paying much attention on my phone or something. She's like, "Oh, check this out. Tell me if you know what this game's going to be." And like literally within like the first second, I'm like, "This looks like a Resident Evil. What could this be?"
I was
And then-
I was in a chat with some friend, like in a voice chat with some friends, and like we're like, oh, this is interesting. What's this? And then like we saw their hair, and it's like, oh, that's Capcom hair. This is Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's exactly. That's the RE engine is
That's
so
Capcom
distinct at this
hair.
point.
Yeah.
It's so distinct. And then it got to the point where she's like, "I'm looking for my brother." I'm like, "Is that Claire Redfield?" And then yeah, from there it was just pretty obvious. But it's really cool though. Like people have been clamoring for this, and like with almost every like remake announcement, they'll be like, "Oh, that Code Veronica version's coming soon," and we finally have it. So.
It just like literally anything to have to remake Resident Evil 5 because there is so much questionable content in that they just
Oh my god.
I don't know, man. I kind of just it's perfect. In just like the most.
Okay, that is not a word that I would associate with that game.
Hold on, I hadn't finished my sentence yet. It's perfect in the most wrong way, in the sense that like this is just epitomizes like what Resident Evil shouldn't have really done.
yeah.
So I just think it should just be like the way that I think it's great in what it is, and then like Resident Evil 6 is the game that they should just focus on fixing, because that game was just a goddamn.
I think if you showed someone a Resident Evil 5 and they had no idea like when it released, they could give you almost an exact date and year.
Yeah. Like that's the thing for like a schlocky like action horror B movie type thing. Like it's got everything. Like it's got like grit, it's got over the top bullcrap like character design. There's quite a bit of racism in there. Like it's exactly that. Like that's what a lot of those B movie like
I love that like
horror things are all
the
about.
racism was like fifth down the list.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's cool.
It's funny
The
though,
final-
we are now starting to run out of Resident Evils that they can remake.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
remake
terms of,
Resident
like,
Evil
Survivor.
Zero. I think Zero really deserves a remake. Get on
Yeah.
that.
I think
Zero,
Zero-
1, 5, and 6 are the last sort of mainline ones.
I reckon
Well, Zero's
Zero will be the
definitely
next
next.
one.
I'm
Yeah,
touching
Zero's next.
5 and 6 probably ever. Let's be real.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to something like Survivor, and just because they're doing first person stuff really well now. Like they probably could touch up on something like that, or go back
Genuinely,
to
like-
Outbreak.
Remake the Revelations games and then make a Revelations 3 because
Yeah,
Resident Evil
the
Revelations
two Revelations games
really
would,
good.
would be good.
Sure.
I would also like to see on at least on Switch 2 the two on-rail shooters, Umbrella Chronicles and
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
whatever the other ones. I
It's
can
not
never
that
remember
cool.
it. Those could be
Not that
fun
cool.
because
Yeah,
on-rail
with
shooters
Well,
aren't
that
for
would
everyone,
actually be good,
but
yeah.
they're at least entertaining enough to play. So
The final part of the Final Fantasy VII remake project. There's a lot of remakes. So you're just gonna have to deal with the fact that there's a lot of remakes. So Final Fantasy VII Revelation is launching day and date on Switch 2, which we kind of expected after they were sort of speed running the release of Rebirth and remake
Hey.
and Rebirth.
I'm impressed. Like I was not
Yeah.
a believer, and this game's like coming out and doing and running well on Switch too. But they've done a fucking great job. So
The fact that they're going to have 3 full-fledged, like 50-plus hour Final Fantasy RPGs out within a decade, less than a decade, is kind of bananas, considering it took a decade to get Final Fantasy, 15 out.
But yeah, they do Rebirth runs very well on Switch 2. Remake ran really well on Switch 2 before it. They look really good considering the hardware that they're working with. It doesn't feel like there are that many compromises in the grand scheme of things. And we have actually seen footage from the Switch 2 version of Revelation because it was in. They uploaded screenshots for Switch 2 and PS5. So we have seen what it actually looks like, and it looks great.
Nintendo of America also
unsurprising.
put up a Switch 2 version of the reveal trailer, which I forgot about, so I'm now playing that in the video.
So yeah, this looks cool as fuck. as expected in Final Fantasy VII, you can like go on the airship and go around the world, as you could in the original game. You can also just like parachute down to like new areas, which is cool as fuck. They added a new job system, so like you can like put on special outfits that are inspired by like classic jobs from Final Fantasy, like the Black Mage or the Warrior or all of that stuff, and it like changes your moveset, and like gives you like passive perks and stuff like that. It's really cool. It looks like they've just gone all the way the fuck out. And
Can I ask, does the trailer, any of the trailers actually like spoil any of the new changes that have come in Rebirth? Because I haven't finished Rebirth yet, and I'm worried about watching the new trailer.
It doesn't
because I don't wanna
spoil
spoil it.
anything. If you haven't finished Rebirth, there will be nothing in the trailer that could spoil you in a way that would even make sense. So you can watch it.
Okay.
There's like, yeah, I think if you are familiar with the story of the original Final Fantasy VII, which I assume you are,
Yeah, that's fine.
then there will be nothing that comes as a surprise to you in this outside of like mechanical stuff like jobs that they.
Ollie says this, and I'm watching the trailer during Summer Game Fest, and I'm like, fuck is Aerith? Oh, hang on.
Well, yeah,
I had a complete blank about why Aerith wasn't in the group shot.
yeah.
Angelo, are you aware that Cloud is in the game?
I'm aware that there are skies and clouds, yes.
Okay, cool. Perfect, you're good.
This is
Thank
going to be
you.
like
No, I get it.
a 200-hour game, by the way. They said that they added more mini games, which like hell yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Which is crazy because that's like that's the main criticism that people have, or the only real criticism people had of Rebirth was like this game was a bit too big, and Square Enix was like, "You want more?"
They have like all of the new areas, all of the previous areas are also accessible. So everything that was in Rebirth, some of the places that were in Remake, and all of the new stuff, which is like 5 new countries that you can go to. It has like unique little story sections for each character, for each playable character. So like not only do you have like all of the main story stuff, but there's like, oh, you have do a little, you know, fucking mission with Vincent where you deal with his shit, and yeah, it's insane. There's so much here. It's going to be a 200-hour game. Like, it doesn't come out until autumn 2027, and I'm already like, okay, Square Enix needs to be sending out review codes for this like tomorrow if we're gonna finish it by then.
Well, so I've just quickly looked up the install size of these games. So Remake is between, it says it ranges from 88 to 99 gigabytes for the install on Switch 2. And then you've got Rebirth, which is 102.5 gigabytes for the install.
Mm-hmm.
How big are we expecting Revelations to be?
It's gonna be 150 gigs, easy.
Because there's no way you can have all 3 games installed on one Switch at this point.
Yeah.
Literally, you cannot put the whole saga on there.
Yeah, like in all seriousness, like I know, like I talk about this a lot, but like we really need some fucking larger SD Express cards. Like it's not actually doable at this point. Like you would think that 1 terabyte would be enough, like as an expansion, but like it's not. Unless you're juggling like multiple cards.
512 terabyte, 512 gigabyte card. 512 gigabyte card would give you the 3 Final Fantasy games and maybe Call of Duty.
Maybe, depending on how much they separate it. Yeah,
But we're also like annoyingly in the worst possible time for someone to develop like a larger than 1 terabyte SD Express card. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. It's really bad.
I mean, thankfully, more devices are actually using micro SD Express. Handheld.
What's the handheld that came out the other? That's coming out the other that has it? I don't remember.
Is that the new MSI Claw or?
Yeah, maybe.
I think that was it.
Or is it the new ROG one? I don't know. One of them, anyway.
It was the ROG. It was the ROG.
Which supports SD Express, which is great.
And there are a couple of cameras as well that have them now. So,
which is
Switch
interesting
2
considering that what's that format called?
The Backflash?
No, the really, really expensive one. That
I
looks
know
like an SD card. That whatever it is, they have that.
Switch 2s don't have like external support, storage support, right? You can't plug like an external hard drive into the dock or anything. I feel like that could probably be a way to sort of combat this if they allowed you
USB
to have...
is only USB 2, so it would be awful.
Okay. I feel like if they made it compatible with external hard drives just to store your games, and then like you dock it and be like, okay, overnight I'm gonna switch this over, and then I want this on my system or something like that. I guess it doesn't matter if you got high-speed internet; it makes no difference. You just download it.
I know, knowing the information we know today, this would also be awful because of NVMe prices. But I really wish they just supported the 20 was it 2230 NVMe's? Yeah, the small ones, little card
Yeah,
ones.
The small ones.
It would
yeah.
just be at least easier to get what you wanted, but
Yeah,
that was
I mean,
like
it was just,
a
it
2
was never gonna
terabyte
happen.
2230 NVMe is like $1 billion. So it's whatever.
It was also just never going to happen because of the power constraints. Like, unfortunately,
Yeah,
NVIDIA
like,
Yeah.
I get it. I get
like-
it. But like I
And they
like
heat up
times
quite a
the
lot.
amount of energy.
yeah, like I understand, but again, this is one of those things where like it's Nintendo designed the fucking console. They can design around it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Look, also-
they have
but also-
they have the technology.
Also, Steam Decks work with that as well. So
Yeah, 100%.
So
But Steam Decks also
But
have,
Steam, yeah,
they're like 5 times the size and have
yeah,
like
it's much bigger.
4 times
so,
the
like,
battery. So yeah, it's a really difficult line to walk. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice if we had better storage options. And yeah, I think
like,
the idea of having like external storage that you can just swap in and out is not a bad idea.
I think I wouldn't be so annoyed if like there were better options available. Like I think that's the thing. Like if they if they launched it and they were already working with partners to make sure like large cards came out and blah blah blah, then I think I'd be okay. But there's like no information about anything larger than 1 terabyte like coming out in any capacity anytime soon. And I'm like, it's already been a year. So
it also means that prices don't drop fast enough on like a 1 terabyte drive as well. If that's the premium one that you can get, then that just the price for that just stays the same.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. It would be nice. I think the way that an NVMe drive could work is if they had a Switch 2 Home Edition that was just like a consoleized version of the Switch 2. I think that's really the only way that we would get something like that. But yeah.
While I have you guys and we're talking about storage, right? This is gonna be the next 10 minutes of the podcast. I want to sort something out, and that probably would help some of our listeners as well make this decision too. These like officially branded Mario like Express SD cards, right? Are these actually good in terms of like read and write speeds for a Switch 2? Because they're significantly cheaper than getting like a SanDisk one or whatever. And I'm just so confused as to whether I should get one of those over something like a SanDisk or whatever other brands.
I think it does. Like, honest to God, I don't think it really matters at this point. Like, SD Express is still slower than your internal storage. So if you ever have any type of like quote unquote loading issue on a Switch, which you're not really going to have, you can just move the content to your internal storage, and it's going to be the fastest way you can do it anyway. So I think you're mostly fine.
The good thing, there are 2 licensed manufacturers for microSD Express. So what that means is that it is like they have to meet the minimum standards for the microSD Express, which means they're going to work for Switch 2. And even if it's the cheapest, like any brand, like if there's Samsung, if there's SanDisk, if there's fucking Lexar, if there's the fucking home brand EB Games one, they're all just made by the same 2 manufacturers, and they all meet the minimum standards. So like, I think the difference in price is solely like the upper end of performance, but they're all going to meet the minimum performance, which is what the Switch is designed around anyway. So you really don't have to worry that much about it. Like there are differences, but they will all meet the minimum standards because they're legally required to.
Right.
And
Because
like-
I look at like Amazon, for example, and I look at like a Samsung micro SD Express, although that's 256 gigabytes and it's gone for $74, but then the official Nintendo that has Mario in the face is like $79 or whatever. So the Samsung is cheaper. But then there are like a whole bunch of other ones that are the same storage size, but are also micro SD Express. But then they're like $129. And I'm like, so what is the price difference there? What am I getting with one versus the other?
I think, like Ollie said, you're getting the top end performance. But like I said, it doesn't matter because the slowest storage performance on the Switch 2 is the Switch cartridge. So that everyone has to make sure the games work within the cartridge spec anyway. So you're not going to have a problem.
Yeah.
So really what you should be worrying about is just how much storage you're getting rather than the speed.
Yeah. Just get the most storage that you can for the cheapest price that you can.
I'll say this: when I played Indiana Jones, I had that initially installed on the microSD Express card because that's where the space was, and it had issues. Like it was just having hiccups with loading assets. So I deleted something that was on the internal storage, moved it into there, and I didn't have any problems.
Yeah. Because I've genuinely been confused by this whole situation, and it's why I just haven't bothered with getting a micro SD for the Switch 2 since it came out. Because I'm like, I honestly have no idea what to get, and I've just been putting the problem off. So I hope that's been helpful for me. I hope that's helpful for other people who are listening as well.
Yeah.
Insert the more you know gif now.
Yeah. Okay, Alien Isolation 2. That's coming to Switch too, as well as everything else at some point in the future. Looks
I've
like
never been more excited for a game that I'm not going to play in my entire life.
Yeah. That was like genuinely my first thought when I saw Alien Isolation 2. I was like, I bet Michael would like this, and I was like, wait a minute, no, he wouldn't.
Yeah, it's I like I've seen people play through Alien Isolation 1, and the story's great, the vibe is great. Like they nailed the alien world and look like so much. But like every time the alien is stalking someone, I'm like, nope.
But you hate the kind of games where something's like stalking after you.
Yeah,
though, right?
it's
Like
the thing.
some
I
water
just
goes
like I'm
wrong.
just not a fan. Like it's not like I have trauma about it or anything. I really just don't like the feeling of something chasing you. It's the reason I haven't played Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Which really sucks because I want to play it so badly.
Mm.
But Emmy just like hunting you down like relentlessly is like a nope.
So everyone, Michael's address is.
Hunger Games begin.
There's a point in Metroid because like in Metroid Dread, sorry, this is a tangent. In Metroid Dread, like you get chased only in specific sections, right?
Mhm.
But there's a point in Metroid Dread where about like 3/4 of the way through the game where the Emmys like break containment and they can chase you throughout the entire map, and is the most stressful fucking thing I've ever played in my entire life.
See, I haven't even gotten that far. I started Metroid Dread earlier this year. And I've hit a block where I'm just like, I don't know where to go next. And I feel like if I'm being chased by an Emmy at the same time, I wouldn't be stressed. I'd just be pissed off the whole time. I'm like, I don't know where to go. And there's something chasing me. This is really fucking annoying.
But hey, there's a 2-frame window to parry it killing you, so that's nice.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
brilliant.
great. My friend wants to play the first game like with me. Like we'll play it together, which is something I think I'll definitely be able to do. Like if I have like a support animal with me, like I'll be able to do it.
I feel like if you played it on a stream, you would have a way better time.
Yes, 100%. Like I feel like even having some, like people there like talking to me like while everything was going down would be both
support animal.
One of
both
the
traumatic and.
I played Alien Isolation for review. I enjoyed it. One of the games I'm looking forward to that's coming out is Jurassic Park Survival, because it's essentially Alien Isolation, but it's in Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's that new dinosaur game that got announced as well, right?
The
Another one that's similar.
Lost Wilds. I think it's Lost Wilds.
Something like that. Because I thought that was the new Jurassic Park game, but then it wasn't.
Yeah, it's essentially the same premise, but just without the license.
Well, but there was also another one that came out on Switch too, remember? After it was announced in a direct. That really weird, like, futuristic hide from dinosaurs game.
Tokyo Scramble.
Yeah.
That's what that was announced, came out like 3 days later, and then vanished.
Yeah, because it was kind of bad.
There is
any news
also another one. It was a VR originally. It's now on everything and even Switch. And it's a Jurassic Park game, and it's basically cell shaded Alien Isolation, but Jurassic Park.
Is there was there any news about that Jurassic Park game at Fake E3?
No, apparently
Key 3.
Key 3. I was gonna say Key 3,
we're
but
not calling it.
I got told off last time.
Apparently, there was some sort of issue with the license, with the original license holders, and Universal, so they had to put a pause on it. So even Jurassic World Evolution 3 was supposed to have a big thing during that showcase season, and they only did it just the other day because they couldn't do it until the issues were resolved. And the Stuntman game that was announced during the State of Play that had Back to the Future and Fast and Furious, that was supposed to have a Jurassic Park sequence. Like a sequence where you're driving away from the T-Rex and stuff like that, and that was cut from the trailer because of this rights issue. So yeah, it's now that all that is resolved, everything's coming back into view. But yeah, so nothing since the re-reveal last August.
That new Stuntman game looks sick, by the way.
It does, yeah. All right, Hot Wheels Infinite Rush, new Hot Wheels game. Looks really good actually. That's coming in September 24.
Yeah, because September 24th was apparently the date to go for.
Yeah, there's like 10 games coming out on September 24th, and like
that's because they're all trying to get out of the way of GTA 4.
Yeah, exactly.
GTA 6, sorry. That's why.
GTA 4. What year is it?
My bad. My bad.
Valor Mortis had their date reveal it. I think it was at Summer Game Fest where they're like, "Oh, we're going to come out this date," and then everyone was like, "Oh, okay," and like 2 days after the show, they're like, "Hey, we're delaying our game till October 13th."
Yeah.
The funny thing about the Hot Wheels game is it leaked on JB.
Yeah.
JB Hi-Fi leaked it. I will say the weirdest, stupidest thing about this is it's Milestone. Milestone do MotoGP, they did Scrim early this year, and they do the Monster Energy Supercross series as well. They did the last couple of Hot Wheels games as well. For whatever reason, even though this is not on Switch, it's switched to the other more modern ones. There's no crossplay. You get limited multiplayer, and there's no crossplay with all the other versions.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But it was MotoGP, which came out a month and a half ago, was the exact same. But he was also on Switch.
And they were the same on their Switch versions as well. Like when they had Switch versions of games, they never had crossplay or any sort of like cross compatibility with other versions. I don't know why they just didn't do it.
For Switch and PS5, I would understand why, like the limitations there. But like this is not on Switch. This is just Switch 2. But they're still putting that bizarre limitation in.
I'm assuming they have like some sort of third party to handle development on the Switch/Switch 2 versions, and
no, they do it in house.
Okay, well
that is why it's really confusing. And look, if this game was supposed to be on Switch and they realized a year ago, hey, we can just drop Switch and move on to Switch 2 and keep it there, that's fine. But it's like, at some point, you have to explain to people why you're charging the same price for a game with less content and less features. And the thing is, they're not. That being said,
I believe you'll find that you, in fact, don't need to do that.
MotoGP on Switch 2 was about $30 cheaper than it was on PlayStation 5 for that reason. So,
anyway, do you all agree that the best Hot Wheels game is the Forza DLC anyway? So,
I mean, yes, and I'm really pissed off because I slept on that and didn't buy it. Now you can't buy it anywhere.
Yeah,
at least for Horizon 4.
A bit of a weird one. Star Trek Shadow Frontier.
Hell yes.
A Star Trek horror game developed by Bloober or published by Bloober. I can't remember.
Developed by Bloober, published by Paramount Games.
Yeah, there you go.
Less exciting part of that news.
Yeah, I mean,
Paramount Games was previously Skydance New Media, so it's their the games division. Of
Even
Skydance.
Less exciting.
I'm not arguing that point. I'm just trying to put context.
Yeah, so this is coming out on Switch 2 and everything else in 2027. Absolutely not what anybody expected. This feels like maybe another game that Michael isn't going to play.
Yeah, probably not, but I'll watch someone play it.
Yeah.
Like, I think the idea of a, like, Star Trek horror game with Ro Laren, like, voiced by Michelle Forbes, is, like, actually amazing. Like, genuinely really good.
Genuinely, like, an inspired, like, choice. Like,
yeah.
Super interesting idea.
Very intrigued as how it actually plays out. It looks great as well.
Yeah. There's a new Spyro game coming. That looks fun. Spyro: A Realm Beyond. This is coming from Toys for Bob, who previously made the Spyro collections, the Crash collection and Crash 4. So yeah, they went independent from Xbox. Well, I say they went independent. They were basically given the choice to go independent or get shut down, and they went independent.
Which is even made more hilarious than that was like 3 weeks after they got told they were going to work remote anyway.
Yeah,
they shut the actual physical studio down, and then we're going to shut them down afterwards.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this looks interesting. There's not really a lot there to base anything off, but it's a new Spyro game. Toys for Bob is a great developer, so yeah, we'll have to see how this turns out. That's apparently coming autumn 2027. We'll see.
I've had a chat with Paul, who's the boss of the studio and that. And I've had a chat with him before about Spyro, and you know when you meet somebody and you know they're a fan of something, you can, when you talk to them about the thing they're a fan of, you can feel that they're a fan of.
Yeah,
he is
Disney adults.
Yeah, but he is a fan. No, not in that sense. In like when people like something, he's that for Spyro. Like if you bring up Spyro with him, he will have a chat with you for an hour because he's just so good about Spyro. He knows and loves Spyro so much. So
that's cool. That's really cool.
And finally, pre-direct stuff. Crazy Taxi World Tour.
Yay!
Which, yeah, I mean, it's nice that Crazy Taxi's back. It looks.
I mean, it's not as if we didn't know it was coming. They said years ago it was coming.
Yeah.
That's how the trailer opens.
Mm-hmm. As it should. Like, it would be the biggest L not to open like that.
It's kind of like how Ace of Spades is the quintessential like Tony Hawk's 3 song. Like that's this for that.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen
only-
much gameplay from it. It looks okay. We'll have to see how it. Like, this is just obviously an early thing. What gameplay we have seen looks kind of dull at the moment, but it's in development, so we'll see.
Also, some troubling stuff about AI use from the
which is really
creators,
confusing
which
because
is
like
not great.
they disclose on Steam that are like, oh, we used AI in development in some way, and then somebody like said, oh, the PR person said that they used it for background assets, and then the CEO was like, no, we don't use it. We only use it for concepting in the early stages, and nothing actually makes it into the final game. And it's like, well, which one of these things is true? But I mean, Sega has been all over the fucking place of late, so who knows what's going on there.
In those situations, we give the benefit of the doubt to the people actually developing the game rather than the PR.
Yeah, for
You'd
sure.
hope.
But I mean, this is also the same company that fucking is digitally puppeteering Tupac's corpse for Stranger Than Heaven, so
That's very true.
who the fuck knows what's going
very
on
true.
there? I could not believe that. That was the biggest. I wrote on Blue Sky that like it goes like that announcement went nuts in the group chat, and it sure did, because we were just like I was watching again the presentation with like in a voice chat with people, and it just went like it was unlistenable when that happened because everybody was like, what the fuck is going on?
I deliberately did not share any of the news about that game because of that decision.
Yeah, it's shitty, and it's especially shitty because like the estate of Tupac is owned by just like a white dude.
Yeah.
Like the
actual family of Tupac has nothing to do with his rights.
Yeah, they've been trying
music.
for like 5.
I mean, look, it could be a lot worse, dude. It could be owned by P Diddy. Like, quite literally, that could be the case. So
Yeah. I mean,
be a
it
lot
is
worse.
like it is. Yeah, it's just a record executive like happened to have the money to swoop in and like get Tupac's estate, and they've been fighting for the past like his family has been fighting for the past like 5 years to try and gain control of that estate, rightfully so. So yeah, for that to be like, and also like it's like, oh yeah, Snoop Dogg gave them permission. It's like, what the fuck does Snoop Dogg have to do with it? Like
Yeah,
him
that's
giving
so
them
weird.
permission to use Tupac in game, and now
Yeah.
like it just came out like yesterday that they're like, oh yeah, this isn't Tupac. This is an imagining of what Tupac would be like if he was still alive today. And I was like, you get that's weirder, right? Like that's a weirder
it's
thing
so
to
much
do.
worse.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Can I just also, as a total side note, say that I hate the fucking Sega eyeball outro on their their videos
Yeah.
like so much.
It gives big like PlayStation in the early 2000s marketing vibes.
Yeah, it's not great. Anyway,
Anyway, the DLC where they have Biggie Smalls in is in like an opposing like faction. That's gonna be off the chain. So
thing is, everybody was like so excited for Stranger Than Heaven because it looks phenomenal. It has like a fucking Addo Snoop Dogg song as like the main song for it, which is like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. And then Sega cannot help themselves. They have to fuck it up somehow.
yeah,
thing
they
is,
really do, don't they?
It's not as if I'm not saying this to be racist, but it's not as if there's not 1,000 other black rappers they couldn't have put in the game that are still alive.
I mean,
Yeah, sure.
fucking put
Ones who actually have bills to pay.
Yeah, put
Why not?
Wiz Khalifa in it. He just did a fucking Hitman board of assassination thing. So yeah, it's an astonishing choice, and it is again emblematic of fucking Sega, who will come out and be like, "Look at all this cool stuff," and then it's like, "Oh fuck yeah, that's great," and then just like fuck it up this next chance that they get. Alrighty, Nintendo Direct, the big one.
Buckle up, everyone.
So there was a lot of stuff in the Nintendo Direct, as Michael, I think, previously alluded to. A lot of it was just old stuff that is coming to Switch 2, which
I think that might have been pre-recorded.
it might have been, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
a lot of it was.
To be fair, that is what most Nintendo Directs are. Unless it's from Nintendo themselves, it's usually stuff that was 18 months ago on another platform.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a case of like a lot of companies are doing catch up because they couldn't support the Switch 2 or just the Switch 1, and they decided not to support the Switch 1. And now that they know that Switch 2 is going to be kind of big and can play most of the games that people want to play, then they're catching up on a lot of stuff. So that is what we're seeing here. I hope in like a year's time we're not like looking at another E3 style Nintendo Direct that is just stuff that came to other platforms 18 months ago, but yeah, we'll have to see. We'll start with some of the newer stuff though. A new Xenoblade game, Xenoblade Genesis. So this is coming in 2027, and it is a new story. It is not related to Xenoblade Chronicles.
My God.
Directly related.
Are they allowed to do that? Because Xenoblade Chronicles has been milked to death since the fucking Wii.
And as we'll see in a moment, it's continuing to be milked to death.
I didn't include it for that reason.
Yeah, it didn't include it, but
Basically,
there are
basically powdered milk at this point.
Switch 2 editions for all of the Xenoblade Chronicles games are also...
Which, okay, to be fair, as part of, apart from my criticism I just gave just then, those games really need that type of stuff. So awesome.
The problem
Xenoblade
is,
Chronicles 2 needs it drastically because it drops as low as 240p in handheld.
Yeah.
The problem that
And
I have
still
is
gets
that
5 frames a second.
Yeah.
I own the physical copy of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
And it is no longer the Definitive Edition.
No, it's the Definitive Edition Nintendo Switch 2 edition. That's
Yeah, obviously.
No, my Switch version is no longer definitive.
that's what I'm saying, right? It's there's a new Definitive in town, and it's Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
I'm honestly surprised that these weren't put on Nintendo Switch Online. It's like, hey, if you're a member and you own these games, here's the upgrade packs, like they do with
It
Zelda.
really should have been.
It should have
But,
been,
I
but
mean-
this is going to make so much goddamn money.
They know that every single one of the 2 million people that bought every single Xenoblade game are going to spend the $20 to get the upgrades. They know that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway,
I mean, I've yet to play any of them, so yes, I will be that person as well. Because I want to get into the Xenoblade games because they look cool.
Yeah.
well, now's the best time to do it.
And,
anyway,
we've talked about it before, but I really hope they fix Chronicles X.
yeah.
Oh my god. Chronicles X Definitive Edition Switch to Nintendo. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yep.
the fuck it's called.
Xenoblade
The-
Chronicles X Definitive Edition Nintendo Switch 2
So
edition.
the Switch
Yes,
2
that.
edition of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, not Xenoblade Chronicles X. Fuck me. The Xenoblade 1 Switch 2 edition
Yeah.
does have some minor issues in that it's got a double buffered VSync, so if it drops any frames, it drops down to 30.
Classic.
That only really affects 2 areas in the game where things get particularly intense, but it's still an issue. Otherwise, it looks phenomenally better. It is night and day difference, and way better than the Xenoblade Chronicles X version. So they clearly seem to have a better upscaler, whether it's DLSS or whatever. It is definitely way better. So that's nice. But we're talking about Xenoblade Genesis. So this is the start of what I assume will be a new trilogy. Obviously being developed by Monolith Soft. The trailer doesn't give too much away, but it is definitely more fantasy than it is sci-fi. At least
I mean,
to
it
begin
takes
with.
place on a Halo, so
Yeah, it does take place on a Halo. But yeah, it looks really interesting.
the funny thing about it to me is it has a similar vibe to what Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave does with its look.
Yeah.
It takes place in a school, like Fire Emblem Three Houses does, but it's an RPG. It's like if Fire Emblem and Xenoblade had a baby, this is what we get.
Yeah, but I mean, it does look good. I was immediately intrigued by it. It definitely has Xenoblade vibes, despite being less sci-fi and more fantasy. So yeah, I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with this new trilogy that they're starting. And that's coming out next year, apparently, somehow. So who knows? Now, for the biggest announcement of the show, by far, it's not even close. Kingdom Hearts 4. So we got a trailer for this. It's going to be on Switch 2 at launch, along with every other platform, which is great. Previously, Kingdom Hearts games, main numbered titles came to PS4 first, and then with Kingdom Hearts 3, they did Xbox as well. But now it's going to be on Switch as well at launch. Switch 2 at launch. This is the first actual real gameplay trailer we've had for Kingdom Hearts 4. It was announced 5 years ago, and we've only seen mocked up, pre-rendered gameplay before, but this time it is actually.
They did. I think it was last year. They put out a batch of screenshots on Twitter.
They put out a batch of screenshots, yeah.
But it was like a collage of screenshots. So they were this big, but they put in a giant image, and they were like,
Yeah.
"This will appease the fans."
And it did. People were theory crafting about that for 7 months.
Yeah, people went nuts over the fact that there was a collage of screenshots.
But yeah, so Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be playable on Switch 2 at launch. And again, real gameplay. The first real gameplay we've had for this game, and it appeared in Nintendo Direct, which is the wildest thing ever. And yeah, it looks pretty good. The footage in the Direct and subsequently in the video that we've embedded here is actual Switch 2 footage, because we've seen the PS5 footage as well, which is what Square Enix uploaded to its own channels. That there is a difference between them. Notably, there is this is how we know that it's real gameplay and not like pre-rendered stuff as well, is that like the general flow of combat is the same, but like things are like slightly different between them, so it is like clearly an actual game playing out. And the story is as batshit as ever. I know some of the characters that were in that trailer because they were in the previously available and now not available mobile game. So it's going to be a bad jumping in point for anybody who did not play every single game from start to finish.
Look,
but hey,
Kingdom Hearts 1 is a bad jumping in point for anybody.
Yeah, because Kingdom Hearts 1 is a terrible game.
I personally don't like the series at all. I'm a Disney guy, and I can't stand this series. It is beyond stupidly, insanely complicated for no benefit.
Yeah.
Story-wise,
if you play through all of the games in release order, it's not that complicated, but that is still like 14 games that you have to play through in order to get the full story. So I fully understand it. But yeah, it's really nice that Square Enix is supporting this. The supporting the Switch 2, like day and date. It is a little bit weird to be like, it's going to be on Switch 2 at launch, which is what it said at the end of the
There needs
trailer.
to be a star at the end of this, because it is Square Enix, and as we talked about at the start of the show, they do the dumbest decisions for no reason.
Yeah.
So we need to put that star next to it just to see what the dumb decision will be for this one.
I mean, this is going to sell gangbusters on Switch 2 in Japan. Like, absolutely insane.
100%. And I think that's like the main reason why it is on Switch 2 is because the PS5 is just not a viable console in Japan at this point. Like, it is selling very poorly in Japan. Switch 2 is the only thing that's selling in Japan, so they have to get their home market. And that,
I mean, it looks like Switch. It's a Switch. It looks like PlayStation's selling very poorly everywhere with their price increase. So,
yeah,
Godspeed
Funny
to
how
them, I
that
guess.
works.
Yeah,
I have a genuine question about Kingdom Hearts. So, like, watching this latest,
that's exactly what I wanted to hear this entire time I've been doing the podcast.
But it's one that I'm just so confused about, and outside of the realm of confusion that it already gives us. So, with Kingdom Hearts 4, like, how important has the fact that it is now a Square Enix RPG set in Disney worlds compared to like the other games? Because I'm looking at this trailer and like the only Disney thing they have in here is Donald and Goofy. We don't see anything else. We don't see any worlds they're going in. And apparently all I glean from this is that they're just hanging out in Tokyo now. Now, when I played Kingdom Hearts back in my day, like as far as I knew, we weren't in like our world.
this isn't my Kingdom Hearts.
Well, that's it. Like, I'm just like, because to me it was like there's just like these three weirdos on an island that just end up in some Disney places. Like, what is going on?
So some slight spoilers. I don't know if you played Kingdom Hearts 3.
No, I didn't.
The DLC and got the secret ending, but the spoilers here is that the spoilers here is that Sora died. He is dead. He died in the main world, and he's gone to a place called Unreality, which is
I'm watching a video, Ollie, that says otherwise.
He died. This is the afterlife. So this is connected to The World Ends With You, where Tokyo is the afterlife, and this is the case here, where this is a place called Quadratum, which is a place within Unreality, which is our world.
I've been to Tokyo a few times. Have I died?
Wait, so because like everyone's still walking around in business suits and hanging out in office buildings, and people still have to go to work in the afterlife.
100%.
Yeah,
Afterlife is just another job. The capitalism has reached the afterlife.
So yeah, this is the afterlife, and there will be like Disney worlds and stuff, but it's probably going to be like dead Disney worlds because it's or like related to the Book of Prophecies. That's unrelated. We'll not go into that at the moment, but yeah, this is the reason that he's in Tokyo is because in The World Ends With You, Tokyo is like the bastion for dead souls, where they get a chance to play a game essentially for the chance to come back to life. And that's what this world is. So we see Shibuya here with the 109 building, which is the 104 building in this, and it is that is the afterlife. That is the signifier that Tetsuya Nomura uses that somebody is in the afterlife.
What a nightmare.
Yeah.
Right.
Mario,
Okay.
you just get a green mushroom, and that gives you an extra life. You don't have to do this shit.
But yeah, so it is. There will be like obviously Disney worlds and stuff as well. They just typically don't show those off until like they've gone into like full marketing mode. But we do see from the trailer, not this trailer, but the one that was actually in the direct, because they re-uploaded it. The Nintendo of America re-uploaded it without the UI, one of the keyblades that we see in there is probably elemental themed. Pixar's Elementals.
Oh, right, okay.
It's either that or Moana. People aren't sure because it has like a water and fire / lava vibe, which could be either. But that is definitely one of the things that could be there.
Out of the two, I would imagine it's probably be Moana.
I would
that's
imagine
the
so
popular
too,
one.
because that's what they're doing at the moment. But I mean, it's weird. But yeah, so that's going to be on Switch at launch. It's probably coming next year if Australian retailers anything to go by, because both
That was
EV
great.
Games, so this was just like, they didn't give a date to it or anything, and then like both EV Games and JB Hi-Fi, so we know that it's not just one writing their own description. They obviously received this description from the distributor. Said, on the collection, the Kingdom Hearts 1 to 3 collection, there was a line that was like, catch up ahead of Kingdom Hearts 4 in 2027. So it's obviously aiming for 2027 at least.
And all that got picked up globally, and then like 4 or 5 hours later, it got removed from Square, JB and EV's websites.
So yeah, that'll be interesting. I imagine we'll probably see more.
If they have both Final Fantasy VII Revelations and Kingdom Hearts 4 drop in the same year.
Yeah, that is going to be wild. And possibly Dragon Quest as well. That would be an insane year for Square.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I imagine we'll see more about Kingdom Hearts 4 at D23, which is happening in August.
Yep.
So, yeah.
D23, for those who don't know, is the Disney Expo.
Yeah.
I'm not calling it what they call it now. It's stupid. The name is stupid.
Yeah, it's Disney's own E3, essentially.
D3.
Yeah, D3. They added the 2 in there for reasons. Wuhu Island is coming back. Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. Really weird thing to announce. But I mean, I guess Switch Sports did well enough for them, and everybody loves Wuhu Island in Wii Sports Resort. So, October 22nd, this is coming out. We got to see thumb wrestling in the direct for way too long.
To be fair, there was always going to be something that we saw for way too long that didn't need to be in there. So
this is where the direct really went off the fucking rails. Like that was just, yeah. Once we get to our last story, I'll loop back to this because it's gonna be an important part of the story. But anyway, go.
So yeah, there's new and returning sports. They have boxing, table tennis, archery, tennis, volleyball, bowling, basketball, golf, thumb wrestling, skateboarding as well, power cruising, and prop play. Like there's all sorts of stuff in here.
But boxing didn't work well in Wii Sports. Why would they bring that back for this one? Seriously.
Mousecon support.
People, I mean, maybe.
No, the only one that's Mousecon is skateboarding.
Yeah.
To play skateboarding in this game, you've got to put your Joy-Con down and use it like a
tech
wheelchair.
deck.
It was a joke, brother.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, this is neat. I kind of suspect that this was initially a Switch 2 edition with expansion, like we saw with Mario Wonder and Kirby. But I'm not complaining. It looks fun. I'll probably play it with my partner at some point. Yeah.
People are about to spend a lot of money just to play Wii bowling again.
I mean, yeah,
because that was the sport that worked the best on Wii Sports. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, it's the only sport that people ever cared about. It's why it's been in every single Wii Sports or Nintendo Sports game.
Also, I love that they show skateboarding, and like skateboarding on grass is like everyone knows that that's not a thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's the thing that they show in this.
I love when they go back. You can use what do they call it? The Sports Me, which is the Switch Sports version of the Mii character.
Yeah.
And they go, you can use them, or you can use your regular Mii, and they go back to the regular Mii, and it looks cursed.
Yeah.
And also, Jump Rope Challenge has survived.
Remember Jump Rope Challenge is in this game.
the game that came out during COVID, and Nintendo were like, this is only going to be around for a few months, and it just never went away. It's now lives again in Switch Sports Resort.
Capcom had a few things in the direct. So we saw Onimusha Way of the Sword that is coming day and date on September 25th with the other versions of the game. This looks really good. I haven't played Onimusha before, but I'm going to now because it looks great. Dragon's Dogma 2 is getting like a full expansion rework kind of thing, like the original Dragon's Dogma did, called Dark Arisen, much like the original Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah. So the Dragon's Dogma on Switch is called Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, and now the sequel is called Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Arisen.
Well, see, I thought when this came up in the direct, I thought, oh, this is just Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, and they've just fucked up saying it, because I thought it was just like a Switch 2 edition of Dark Arisen, but no, it is called Dark Arisen as well, which, if you've played Dragon's Dogma 2, makes sense. But yeah, so this is really cool. I love Dragon's Dogma 2. Big fan of it, and expansion stuff is really cool as well. I'm very curious to see how it's going to run on Switch 2, because it notoriously ran kind of poorly on other consoles, but they've been doing a lot to try and fix that recently as well. So, you know, we'll see. Also, DMC5, Devil May Cry 5 Devil Hunter Edition. This was one of the ones that was leaked via a ratings board at some point. Yeah. So this is just DMC5. You know, it's going to be 60 FPS, as it should be. And comes with the DLC stuff as well, so you can play as Virgil, and like, yeah, it's DMC5. Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
There's 3 more games here that were on other consoles previously and now coming here. So there's Metaphor ReFantazio, which is the Persona-ish game from Sega and Atlas. That's coming on November 12th. Lies of P Complete Edition. That's coming as well at some point later this year. And Stellar Blade, which, you know, if you're into that, sure.
The nicest way to try and describe being, if you're a pervert, you want to see it.
Yeah, I mean,
an ass jiggle for 18 hours.
Like that's exclusive to this one Japanese game.
Well, yeah, it's Korean and it's worse.
Korean, sorry.
I mean, that's all the game is. It's 99% just like looking at a jiggling ass. So
it's basically the Korean version of Bayonetta, but she just doesn't use her hair for powers. What I thought was funny, it was some fake account from the Persona the Metaphor ReFantazio director tried to like convince people, like just before the showcases all kicked off, that Metaphor ReFantazio Retold was the new version of this game, like Persona 5 Royal was the updated version, and so many people bought into it. But all you had to do was look through that Twitter page, and it's just like the most unhinged takes on things. Like, yeah, this is not the official thing. I think it's fine.
So, you know, it's looking kind of rough on Switch 2 at the moment. I'm hoping that it looks better by the time it launches, because it did not look super great in that direct trailer. But we'll see how it goes. It's also a turn-based game, so like, who really gives a shit if it's 60 or 30? I just want it to look nicer.
I will say the only thing for Stellar Blade is Shift Up, the developer. This game was published by PlayStation on PS5, and then they published the PC version when that came like a year later. Shift Up themselves are publishing Stellar Blade on Switch 2. So it's not a PlayStation published game on Switch 2. It is a completely self-published game by the developers. But given that they made a shit ton of money from this game, they've got the money to do things now. So
some bigger ones. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave has a release date. It is September 17. This is the sequel or prequel, we're not really sure, to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Yeah, it looks really good. There's like 4 routes, just like there was in Fire Emblem Three Houses. But instead of like it being like you choose a different character, like there's no avatar character like there was in Three Houses. So you just choose a different character and then like play through their scenario. So that'll be really interesting to see. I really liked Three Houses, so this should be good.
I made a joke while this was playing in the director said, so it's Kai, Reinhardt, Dietrich, then the girl, and then Lita. Lita was the last one. She's the bard or whatever you want to call it, the dancer. And I made a joke that she already has R34 content, and I checked like half an hour later, and she did.
Yeah, of course.
In the space of half an hour, somebody made an R34 theme for that character.
Yeah. Aussie Dev was in here. So the Big Walk, which is from House, the creator of
So excited for this game.
is
Yeah, it
coming
looks
to Switch
so much
too.
fun.
This actually, like, they got to announce the release date at this Nintendo Direct. So it was just previously dated for sometime this year, and it was only announced for PC and PS5. So now it's got Switch 2 as well in there. Yeah, looks really, really fun.
It honestly jars me every time I see this game because these weird characters that you play as. I'm like, oh yeah, but then I'm like,
them so much.
But what's funny is, so obviously House are based in Melbourne, so they've used the Victorian landscape as their backdrop, and I'm like, I've walked through these sceneries before. I know some of these things. Like I look at them, I'm like, okay, it's just weird to see in a game, to see like stuff that I know from literally like 20 minutes from my house. There will be trees and rocks that look like this.
More friend slot, please, directly into my mouth.
What's funny about this is that when the Big Walk was announced, it was incorrectly announced because I think it was like in a Guardian article, and they accidentally called it the Big Wank. And now all of the developers call it the Big Wank, which is the funniest fucking thing.
That's amazing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Brilliant. You can do it with your friends.
Yeah. Just think of the same thing.
That's a different type of friend slot.
Yeah.
Proximity chat.
But yeah, this looks really exciting. It's going to have a 25% launch discount. So when it comes out on August 4th, please get it. It's going to be a delightful time. Maybe we'll play it. Maybe we'll all play it together. Who knows?
Then we'll record an episode of the Vookcast using the proximity chat in the game.
Yeah, can we stop promising we're gonna record episodes of the podcast in various games?
Look, if House want to send us 4 codes, we'll do it. But I don't think that's
not a bad ask.
Yeah. If the people who make Chillin' by the Fire want to send us 4 codes for that, we will do a.
Oh my god, I forgot about that game. Jesus Christ.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only person ever to have bought that game. So. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I honestly, with Big Walk, when they announced this after Untitled Goose Game, I was like, oh, it's a walking simulator. And every time they've shown more of it, like with the puzzles and the interactive tools like the flare gun and the megaphone, every time they show more of this game, I'm like, all right, this is starting to be like I want to play this game. Initially, I didn't care, but yeah, now I'm keen to play it.
The look of the flare as it launches through the sky and the little explosion at the end gives me so much joy. I don't know what it is about it. It just looks very good.
It does. And now for the big one, the thing that they ended the Nintendo Direct with in the weirdest possible way. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is indeed getting a remake, and it's coming out this year. Not that you would know it, because we've seen a single fucking static shot of Link sleeping in a bed, and that's it. That's all we've seen.
He groans for a moment.
I don't understand why that was all we got for it. Because the trailer starts and like it starts telling the story of Ocarina of the Time. You get those like little like ocarina notes, and I was like, damn, that is actually hitting me way harder than I thought it would. And I was like, all right, here we go. We're ramping up to see the actual game, and then that's it. That's all we got. Is just a shot of Link sleeping on his bed.
We got more shot of the tapestry than we did of Link.
Yeah.
And then we got more shots of Thumb War than we did of this fucking game for some reason. Yeah. Like
you know why? God. It's because Nintendo tried to pretend like the game wasn't leaked months ago. That's why.
It's just like, I have no words because it's just the decision is just so insane. Like I remember I was talking about it in the Discord, and people like were saying, "Oh yeah, obviously they're doing it as they're going to do a direct later." I'm like, I get it. I understand the marketing of what's going on. Like that's not the part I'm annoyed at. Like it's just dumb. The game comes out in probably a few months' time, probably the same month as GTA 6, because that'll be a fucking baller Nintendo move. To be honest,
well, if it was
drop Ocarina of Time. Yeah. I don't care. Like you don't end this direct, the first direct you've had since fucking January. When was the last one? February, right?
Yeah.
With this 4 seconds of a game that people are highly anticipated for, and don't even announce when you're gonna get more info about it and see it. And don't get me wrong, I get it's Ocarina of Time, like we know the fucking story, blah blah blah. But like, this is the game for 2026.
Yeah. And it's like we don't know anything about this is the description that we have for it. The Nintendo 64 Classic returns for a new generation in 2026, reborn exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2. That's all the information we have about it. And it's like, is this going to be like a 1-for-1 remake that just looks prettier? Is this going to be like an expanded remake? Is it going to be like a full ground up reimagining like Final Fantasy VII remake? We don't know any of this stuff. We know none of it. And like,
it's also, I will say, it's the art style is definitely not what I was expecting, which is interesting to me. Like, it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's not the vibe that I thought they would go for.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of get the vibe that like they definitely want this to be like a showcase for, like the Switch 2's hardware.
Sure.
Angelo
Oh my
was just
god,
looking for things.
this is gonna be good. I can feel it.
I just put up a link of like a live reaction of people at the Nintendo World Store in, I think it's New York. And yeah, it is New York. And this is only a very small part of the audience because you can only see like 2 or 3 rows in front. Whereas I saw another video of someone up on a balcony higher up, like filming like all hundreds of people that were in there. Of course, most of them are dudes. But like we're complaining about like how flat it felt, but then all the nerds here with their phones out obscuring the view of the actual reveal are just like losing their goddamn minds. And props to the weirdo dude who has like a Hyrule Shield backpack who is just waving around in the middle of the thing screaming, "Let's fucking go." I'm like, all right, bro, but like...
It literally just happened as you said it, as I'm watching it.
So man, nerds are another breed.
My Instagram feed has been the reels has been flooded with reactions of people, and there was one couple, and they did the notes, and she's like, "Is this Ocarina?" And they did it again. She goes, "Ocarina," and then she's like panting, like hyperventilating herself. She's, I'm gonna pass. It's like for the next minute, she's screaming, "I'm gonna pass out," and it's like that is clearly
Didn't even
you
show
acting.
anything yet.
That is clearly you acting at this point, because if you're going to pass out, you don't say I'm going to pass out. You pass out.
I mean, that's just influencers for you. They overreact.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
like, don't get me wrong, I'm excited as fuck for this game. Like, I'm really intrigued about what they're gonna do with it, especially in like a remake of a game like this influential and this old. But like,
they're remaking the Master Quest version just to mess with people.
just show me. That's fine. Just you should have shown something. Like,
yeah.
It's
well,
just
that's
annoying.
it. Like to ignore the fact that it's been leaked, like it's just so tone deaf. Like
It's Nintendo.
we know it's coming. Why pretend that you're making an announcement? Like you're confirming at this point. You're not really announcing it.
It's one of those things where it's like, how far did those leaks actually go, right? Is it like, do most people who would watch a Nintendo Direct know about the leaks? Do many of them do? Like, is this just like a thing that like the most, engaged people know about? Like, I get that like Nintendo also doesn't really want to like change their marketing plans for the purposes of, getting around leaks, because that sets a bad precedent. But like, even still, right? Like, yeah, I mean, even if we hadn't known this was coming, this would be like a really strange move to do, right? Like,
it literally should have said coming 2026, more information direct in September.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, they announced a Splatoon Direct before they did anything with this. So
I genuinely think the conversation would be wildly different if we didn't know that this was coming and that this was the reveal. Like, I think we all would actually be losing our mind. There'd be like 8 dudes throwing around their like Hyrule Shield backpacks in that video. But like the fact that it has the conversation has been, well, they're gonna finally unveil that game because the Star Fox rumor was right, so therefore this one has to be right. So we all knew it was going to happen, and the fact that it just came out like this and it was just like, hey, look, we have this game that you love coming out. It's like, yeah, we already know that, guys. Like, we kind of would have expected a little more. Now, granted, this is obviously hinting towards like its own dedicated direct. Like 100%, there's going to be an Ocarina of Time remake.
Yeah,
direct.
with 100%.
So, yeah.
And they'll have a movie trailer in it for the new movie. It's going to be a weird cross, not platform. All right, cross. What am I? What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, cross promotional. Thank you.
Yeah. But like, even if they just had someone out the front in a suit, just explaining, hey, look, we've got this. We've got a legendary game coming soon. We hope you're all going to like it. And then they just snap their fingers or something like that, or gave us a bit more of a hint or a bit more of an explanation about it or something. I feel like that would have just tided us over a little more. But the fact that they tried to reveal it as like some big surprise, just like, we already knew that.
I think also the game coming out this year and not giving a date like this far into the year is just stupid. Like,
Yeah.
they have a date. They know when it's coming out. Like,
When I
Well-
put the news on my side, I said Zelda games and release dates never usually work out. So
Well, but this is the tough thing, right? Is that they've got GTA 6 coming out in what is it? November?
November 19th.
Is that what's
one.
called?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like smack bang in the middle of November. That's getting ahead of the shopping season, the Christmas season. That's like right around like Black Friday ish. So everyone's already going to be looking forward to that game. And then before that, you've got like a couple of months where you can release the game. And then before that, they've got between now and September, they've got to fit this direct in where they're going to talk about that game. And then they've got a 2-month release window to actually put it out. It's like they're pretty much screwed in terms of timeline. I
genuinely don't think that GTA 6 and Ocarina of Time will cannibalize each other's sales. Like, they are mutually exclusive sellers.
They are different audiences, but I wouldn't put past Nintendo to try to charge like $70, $80 US or whatever it is they're doing, and then $120 here. Like, there are like kids these days, like a lot of them are going to be asking for GTA 6, even though they're underage, right? It's not going to matter. Parents are going to buy it for them because they're idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of other bigger games, like they're not really paying attention to like big game releases. They're paying attention to their free-to-play games like Fortnite and stuff like that. So there only really are a couple of big, properly published games that they're really paying attention to. And I genuinely don't think that like Ocarina of Time is going to be one that a lot of younger people are going to aim for. It is going to be adults, and adults are already looking forward to GTA 6 as well.
I think it's an
I don't
instance of like the Switch 2 isn't going to have GTA 6. So like
No,
whatever's happening on Switch 2 is just like it needs to not be interacting with the same audiences, right? And like, yeah, there is like obviously like the target audience for Ocarina of Time remake is like, 30 to 50 year olds, rather than like, young people or older people, and like those people are also like kind of the target audience for GTA. But like the kind of person that is like super excited about Ocarina of Time is going to buy it no matter when it is, whether it's releasing on the same day as GTA 6 or not. And then after that, right, like GTA 6 is going to be a big movement, but then like, people aren't really going to be talking about it for a really long time afterwards. This is going to be a game that like is going to sell really well over the course of the generation rather than that. So I think like getting it out on the same day, it's been like, hey, the PS5 and Xbox people have GTA 5, but like if you're on Switch 2, you also have this sick ass remake of Ocarina of Time, the game that everybody loves. I think that's not a terrible idea, and it probably isn't. As Michael said, I don't think it's going to cannibalize. Like neither of these are going to cannibalize each other because like they do have similar target audiences, but like the kind of people who would buy a GTA on day one and the kind of people who would buy Zelda Ocarina of Time remake on day one are not the same. So
No,
I was thinking the target audience for this game obviously is us, people that grew up with the game, right? But like I've already had multiple conversations with co-workers at work that are in the same age bracket who have children and have told me they're buying this game for their children. Like, and that's going to happen so much.
That's the other aspect of it, is that like there's going to be a lot of people in our age range who do have kids and young kids as well, who they want to introduce to Ocarina of Time, who like aren't gonna like download the NSO app and get them to do that because it's kind of frustrating to play it like that, right? Like this is for those people as well. Like I don't think GTA 6 is really gonna interact with it much at all. The same way as like if Pokemon Winds and Waves was like launching on GTA 6 day, I don't think it would make a difference to either at all.
But see, like buying games for your kids and then your kids actually playing them are two different things in some respects. So I get like with Nintendo kids, it's probably going to have a higher attachment rate. But like, I genuinely don't think that it's going to. I think the argument that like GTA 6, the conversation is going to die out pretty quickly, I think that's not true, because that game is going to be highly shareable. There's going to be so many stupid moments in that game that are going to dominate the conversation for forever. If the game comes out and it's buggy as crap on PC, that's going to dominate the conversation. There's going to be all sorts of things. Coming to consoles, if it's buggy as hell and then it requires fixes or whatever, which probably isn't going to be the case, but that's what happens with a lot of these open world games, right? I think there's going to be so much content over the years to come for GTA 6 that people are going to make just amongst themselves, whereas Zelda doesn't have. But it's not going to have that staying power. But like also like the marketing for these games, like it's not about just selling the games. It's also about marketing and where the ad space is going to go for them.
I think I agree that like I don't mean to say that like GTA 6 isn't going to be talked about. Obviously, it's going to be a thing. But like once something becomes a mainstay in conversation, it sort of starts losing its shine, I guess. Like it's not bringing more people in, it's just going to continue selling because hey, it's GTA, right? And like at a certain point, all you can say about it is yeah, it's GTA 6, right? Within the first year, we're going to see everything that GTA 6 has to offer. We're going to see every shareable moment, every single thing, right? But if Ocarina of Time remake is good, then it's going to continually make lists of like, oh, the best games on Switch 2, right? The best open world adventure games, blah blah blah, right? This is the kind of thing is that like GTA 6 is like bigger than the games industry, right? Where it's like, and because of that, it's going to have saturation to the point where it starts losing some of the cultural relevance, not because it's not relevant, but because there's only so much that you can say about it before you've said everything. And when there's 70 million people playing a game, you've said everything in a pretty short amount of time. With Ocarina of Time remake, that's the kind of thing like if it is phenomenally good, like a Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, that's the kind of thing that's going to keep popping up over time. And like it is going to be an evergreen seller for Nintendo, of course it is. But I think it's going to be one that
I think in traditional games media, yes, you're right. That would be the case. But I don't think in mainstream cultural media it'll be the same thing. Because like with Ocarina, for example, if it's a remake, like it's all it is going to be, right? It's only going to be a remake of one of the better games, or one of the best games ever made. Like in essence, like we have seen what Ocarina is going to be. I doubt it's going to do something drastically different in terms of story. It's not going to be like a Final Fantasy remake or anything like that, where Zelda's going to die, or there's a version of like we're not going to probably see like the timelines deviate like we expect has happened coming out of like Hyrule story or anything like that. We're not going to observe like that moment. I don't think there's going to be much changing story-wise within the game, so I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of new content to discuss apart from the fact that this game looks prettier, or maybe there are some fun mechanics that have been added to it. I don't think it's going to be a Breath of the Wild where it's going to have like all these highly shareable moments because I don't think the game's going to be as dynamic as that.
It's not.
I think it's systems based or anything.
Yeah, I just think like if it is phenomenally good, it's going to be talked about as a phenomenally good game, whereas GTA 6 can only really be talked about as it's GTA 6.
I think my point is like for the release date is that if GTA 6 wasn't coming out in November and Ocarina of Time also released in November, it would sell the same. I don't think it's going to impact anything. Like it's going to sell the same. People are going to talk about it the same. Like it just doesn't matter. Like it's its own force, and will continue to be its own force.
But I don't even really care what's going to sell more necessarily by the time the games come out. I'm just saying like in terms of like a marketing strategy and then a release strategy, I just feel like them trying to get it out in amongst GTA 6 is a nightmare, and thinking about the fact that they've only got this short window of time between their own official announcement, despite the fact that we've known about it for months when they could have already been getting ahead of it in that regard, that they're still sticking to their actual marketing strategy where they've announced it today, and then they've got only 5 more months between now and GTA 6 coming out that they have to give a full reveal, they have to do XYZ for marketing, and then they have to like actually release the game. I mean, I was like, it's just such a sandwich thing, whereas GTA 6 has had years to market because they've been delaying that game consistently for so long.
But realistically, there's only 2 options for release for this game. It's not coming out in December, that would be insane. It's either coming out in November before or after GTA, whatever they choose, or October. Like that's it. It's coming out then, and they need to choose which one it is.
I'd probably bet on the fact that it would come out in October. Like they'll probably do like a reveal. Sorry, they'll probably do another reveal like in like a month or 2, and then they'll do a full direct in September, being like, and it's out in a month.
I think it's a December release.
That's crazy.
December for Nintendo would be crazy.
They
did it with Metroid, but they don't care about Metroid.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about Metroid. But you miss Christmas sales by releasing something in December.
Absolutely.
Because people have bought their stuff already.
Well, that's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. As I said, like I think GTA 6 is a non-issue because it is transcending the games industry, right? Like this isn't just a game, right? It is the game. It is the video game.
Unless GTA 6 releases a Switch 2 edition.
I mean, in that case, like where like Nintendo needs to rethink everything. But no, I think I don't know. I think there's also like yes, like they've had a lot of time to advertise GTA 6, but like we haven't really seen a whole lot more from GTA 6 than we have from Ocarina of Time remake in the grand scheme of things. Like we haven't seen any gameplay. But like GTA 6 gameplay is still just not present at all. We've seen
they've got in-engine clips though.
Yeah, in-engine clip. I mean, we've got an in-engine clip of Ocarina of Time. Like
We got a screenshot. I don't know if that's in engine.
all of GTA 6 is like there's not going to be like non-in-engine
I will,
stuff, right?
I will say this: if that video of Ocarina of Time is not in engine, what the fuck are you doing? Like that would be even worse.
It has to be, right? It has to be. But yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like they both. I don't know. GTA doesn't need to advertise, right? Like it just doesn't.
No.
Like they could just not release anything until the release date, and then be like, "Here it is. Here's your fucking GTA," and then like people.
But
will-
that's entirely my point, though. Is that
Yeah.
like it's effortless for Rockstar to advertise GTA 6? So like everyone else, including Nintendo, would have to try to get ahead of that some way. And I just feel like that they've already kind of stepped off on the wrong foot doing it with this reveal after everyone knows the fact that the game is already coming out.
I mean, I've seen a lot of reactions from people who didn't know Ocarina of Time or the Zelda remake was happening, so they were like caught off guard in the direct. I've seen a lot of those reactions, and to Angelo's point, yeah, the people who knew it was coming, it's not a surprise for them. For the people who didn't know it was coming, it was a surprise, but the reaction for all of them was, "What? That's it?" And it's like somebody at Nintendo has to have realized that the way they revealed it, regardless of whether people knew about it before or not, is the dumbest way they could have done it. Because all they've now done is the conversation has shifted from, "Oh my god, they're remaking Ocarina of Time," to, "Oh my god, they're not showing us anything of this remake. Why are they not showing us anything of this remake?"
I think it's especially a problem because it's coming out in a few months, right? If they did that little teaser, like the Metroid 4 thing, right, when it's coming out in a few years or whatever, like, I hate that shit. I don't think they should do that or would do that. But that at least makes more sense to drop like a little like teaser like that, right? But coming out in a few months, like, goddamn, dude, like, rethink what you're doing.
That's the thing. If they had
Like, look,
just said,
it's. Oh no, go on, Luke. So I was interrupted.
I was gonna say, if they had just said, Ocarina of Time, and then just left it at that and didn't put a year, then people would have gone, "Oh, okay, so next year, right?" But the fact they put that year on it meant that they needed to show more to prove to people why it was coming this year.
Well, they had to put a year on it because, like, if they showed that and that wasn't coming out this year, the news story would be like, "What the fuck is happening with Switch 2?" Right?
Yeah.
They
but-
didn't have a choice.
But that's what I'm saying. Because they put the year on it, they needed to show more. They needed to
agree,
do something
100%.
more than what they've done. And the problem is, even the people who weren't in the bubble we're in have realized that's a bad reveal. Even though they got excited, they all dropped that excitement when they realized that they weren't getting anything more from this direct. And it makes it even slightly worse when it followed up Kingdom Hearts 4.
Well, like, look, it's. I'm making these complaints now, but like Nintendo's not a stranger to having condensed marketing timeframes for like between announcement and release for games. I mean, look at Star Fox, right? Like they only just revealed the game like a month ago, and it comes out like in a couple of weeks or next week or whenever. So it's already like a 6 to 7 week window that they've gone from announcement to that. But like that's not like their one of their big flagship series, right? It's like hey, we're just doing this, blah blah blah. It looks cool, there's a lot of nostalgia to it, whatever.
But they showed the game.
They did. That's exactly right.
that's what I mean, yeah.
Right from the get-go, they show the game. They make a big splash. Whereas this game, I feel like they were trying to be a bit too Nintendo about it and be like, everyone's going to be excited no matter what we say. And it's like, well, no, that's clearly not the case now. Like, it just needs to be.
That's sort of true, right? Like, people are still excited. They're just disappointed because they want something. They want something to be excited about for Nintendo Switch 2 and want to see what it's going to be like. But like, the back end of the year is rough. Like, it really is.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the thing, right? So there needs to be that big tentpole moment for the end of the year, and like we still haven't quite got that. Even though we know Zelda's coming, we don't know what the flag looks like at this point.
Yeah. Though it's clearly, I mean, it's getting people talking about it. Like, this is the thing, right? Is that like, no matter if like people are frustrated or whatever, right? Like, as soon as they do start showing shit, like that's not like. It's not going to matter anymore that they only showed a little bit back then, right? Like,
but
this
Nintendo
is the kind
doesn't.
of risk that they can take, right? Like, 2.2 million people have watched the trailer on YouTube. Like, that is insane for like less than a week on since the announcement, right? Like, I don't know. I think it's one of the things. It's like people are aware of it now. But
Nintendo's mantra really isn't like any news is good news. Like bad news for them is still bad news. Like
right,
they much prefer
to be
good
fair,
news.
Nintendo will also just dump a random JPEG on social media and call that fucking news. So their bar on what is considered newsworthy is very low.
I think like you're right that like it's not any good news, any news is good news situation, but like it's also a case where like the second they actually show anything, people are not going to give a shit that they only showed a small thing at the start, right? Like it is immediately going to be forgotten that the way that they revealed this was like a 2-second clip of Link lying on a bed, because the second we actually see what they're doing with it, everybody's going to be excited about that, and nobody is even going to remember that this was revealed this way. Right?
Well,
like, it's just not going to matter
but it's
anymore.
it's just that it's excruciating in the meantime, though. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
for sure. But I think that's a gamble that Nintendo's willing to take to follow its marketing strategy, right? It's like they know that like this was, that they only wanted to do like this little, we'll tug a little at your nostalgia heartstrings, and like
I think
that's it.
the real question we're all missing here is the physical release cartridge going to be gold?
I mean, it should be.
Will
I
it
mean,
taste like gold?
No, it tastes like shit as is designed.
Yeah. No,
In any case, what they did, it's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off for
Yeah.
them.
No matter, it doesn't matter. Like all 4 of us are gonna buy this game.
yeah,
Like
that's it, right? It is. We can complain about it all we like, and that's the thing, right? Is that like the people that are invested enough to complain about it, they're still gonna fucking buy it. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, Nintendo doesn't care. We're all putting money into this anyway. Yeah. One other thing that.
So I just want to say one thing. If this turns into a Breath of the Wild like Zelda, I'm gonna be very fucking angry. Like straight up.
I think it'll be open in the way that Breath of the Wild is, but not anything goes approach in the way that Breath of the Wild is, right? So like I think it'll have a seamless world, but it won't have like, you have 6 abilities.
Just fine, because
that
that's
allow
what,
you to just do anything.
Ocarina of Time was sort of, right?
Yeah.
But I hope it doesn't have the scale of Breath of the Wild, right? Because as much as, like Ocarina of Time, had 24 hours to cross Hyrule Field, that's like 5 seconds, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't take you long to get anywhere. I don't want to spend 5 hours going from like village to village. It's just, I don't know.
I mean, but fair enough. But to be fair, you play your little ocarina and then you teleport there.
Yeah, but I wanted to feel like Ocarina of Time. Like I don't want it to
I
feel
think-
like Breath of the Wild.
I think it does. I don't know. Hyrule Field does need to be bigger, if I'm being honest, because
Yes, I agree completely. I'm not saying it doesn't need to expand because it is tiny as hell, but I'm just saying I don't need to, it doesn't need to be the Hyrule Field from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it does need to be bigger. It does need to have more stuff to do in it, because like at the moment it's just like a largely empty area that you walk slowly through, and sometimes
Yeah, you just visit Lon Lon Ranch, get some milk, peace out.
So yeah, there needs to be more. But like there's also like a whole bunch of stuff from Ocarina of Time that like was in development that got scrapped, right? Like there's a whole bunch of like stuff that they could add to it to make it this definitive edition of it, or it'll be really, really interesting to see the approach that they take here, because it could just be a 1-to-1 remake. It could be like
I hope this leads to a short dev runtime Majora's Mask remake as well, because
I literally was just going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Like 18 months later, we get Majora's Mask remake.
That'd be cool.
I can't imagine wanting to do Ocarina of Time and then just being like, oh, we'll just leave it there, right? Like, yeah.
we all know Nintendo.
I'm curious to see how gross the inside of Lord Jabu Jabi will look like in this game.
Pretty gross. I think it's gonna be a lot of like.
I kind of hope so.
There's a lot of stuff that is gonna be. I'm really intrigued about how they're gonna translate it, especially in the art style that we've seen. Right?
Yeah.
Vook was talking in the Discord the other day. I think he's gonna do an article around like the weirdest like characters and stuff that are gonna look like horrific in the remake, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be pretty wild to see, because there's some insane shit going on in that game.
Like if the style of that one screenshot that we see, I'm gonna say it's a screenshot of Link sleeping in his
he
tree house
moves.
is anything to go by. He does it. But like that one screenshot that we see of him in his little tree house, I'm very curious to see what the other like environment's going to look like, right? Like everyone's kind of like, oh, Gerudo Desert stuff, and I'm like, but I want to see kind of like what the bottom of the well looks like, because that was like a horrific like torture chamber basically.
Totally.
I want to see what the inside of the forest temple is going to look like, because that was creepy as hell with all sorts of like really effed up enemies and stuff in there.
Yeah.
In
future,
even
the
final form Ganon.
yeah, that'll look cool. But
In the adult Link world, going through the town with all the fucking Screecher McScreeches going off, those things gonna look. Whoa, that's gonna look so awful. Like genuinely.
I want to see how sexy they're going to make the fairies in this game. Let's see whether or not Nintendo goes all out or if they cower back like the cowards they can be.
The first R-rated Zelda.
I'm really keen to see what they do and like what the art style actually is, because like it looks like an Unreal Engine 4 like fucking hire this guy Nintendo, but like that's only because like seeing a character devoid of any kind of context is really not a great way to judge art style. Like he looks real wet, but
Oh my god.
he looks like a real moist boy. Like, look at his hair; it's shiny as fuck. His skin is like
his hair does look like weirdly shiny.
yeah. So I'm curious to see what the art style actually is, because like just looking at this, it doesn't give us much information to go on. It could be, the world is a lot more cartoonish, like a Xenoblade.
Show us a Goron, show us a Zora. Like that's what I mean. Like it needed to have just a little bit more than just what like a realistic Link looks like. We've seen a bunch of those in all sorts of games at this point.
That's going to be interesting, right? Because like the Zora designs have changed quite substantially like between games. So like that's going to be intriguing to see like what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
Alrighty. One last thing that just got added to this run sheet after we discuss this, or maybe it got added before and I just missed it. But Orbitals now has a release date. It is coming out on September 3. Michael and I are very excited about this. Angelo, I'm pretty sure, is pretty keen on it too.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
I don't know if this was this was like this and I missed it before, but there was a price on the eShop the other day for the game, and it's $60.
There's that, and then there's the deluxe edition. And the retail edition is like $10 more than the deluxe, but it's not the deluxe edition. It's just a standard game.
Yep.
Because the Orbital's physical release is on the Nintendo Store. What was my Nintendo Store is now Nintendo Store.
Nintendo is distributing it, so
yeah.
So yeah, super keen.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about it quite a bit on this show.
What does the deluxe upgrade pack actually come with?
Digital art book, digital soundtrack, and a couple of extra skins.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yep.
So skins for the characters and skins for the ship, from memory.
So. Alrighty, how long have we been recording for, Luke?
Just about 2 hours.
Okay.
I've got a game. I've got a game if you want to fit it in. We can hold off. Up to you guys.
I mean, it's already 2 hours. Why not? I don't
let's
really
fucking
care.
go for it. Yeah, we'll go for it. All right, let's move on to Nintendo 20 questions. And we'll just apologize to Vook for going over 2 hours.
I think you guys will get this one.
It'll be fine.
Sorry,
right.
money daddy.
All right,
Michael,
do you want to start us off with your favorite?
No, let's go with not Michael first up.
All right, I mean, I'll go. Was this game released on or after the 1st of January 2000?
You son of a bitch. No, it wasn't.
Okay, before 2000.
Oh, damn, an oldie. All right. Do we need to clarify 90s, you reckon? Or do you reckon he's gone into the 80s?
I mean, I have to assume it's 90s, essentially.
Was this game released?
All right.
Was this game released on a home console?
Sorry, you just completely swung me to. I was expecting you to ask about the 90s, and then you're like, was it a home console? No, it wasn't a home console.
Okay, handheld.
So Game Boy Color.
Okay, yeah. Or Virtual Boy, because Angelo.
Head hold. That's head held.
Yeah, I don't think Virtual Boy qualifies as a handheld.
I think it qualifies as worth discussing.
I think we years ago we axed Virtual Boy from the lineup.
Yeah.
Was this game was this game published by Nintendo?
Yes.
Okay. Oh man.
Does this game feature recognizable Nintendo characters?
I don't believe so.
Okay, that's an odd one then, to be published by Nintendo but not feature recognizable characters.
Did this game get a release in multiple regions?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking if that's silly, like Zelda frog game, only released in Japan.
Well, I think the general rule is the game has to have released in Australia.
No, that's
For
not the
20
rule at
questions.
all.
It's definitely not the rule.
We've
That rule has
we've-
been broken
we've all
about
broken those
400,000 times.
done that.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten. Is it 4 or 5 questions you just asked? I haven't been keeping count.
I don't know.
It was
Luke
5.
knows.
Ollie's
Luke-
was 5.
5? 5, okay, 5. I'll keep count.
All right. Is this game in the Nintendo Classics lineup of titles on the Switch?
Oh, no.
Okay.
So that means it's not sort of a mainstream popular one.
Interesting.
Is this game a licensed game?
No.
Okay.
So it's not like
would you-
the Game Boy James Bond or whatever, right? Like, can't be.
No, and the Nintendo had nothing to do with that, thankfully.
No, they published it.
Did they?
James Bond 007, they published it.
No,
is,
it's okay.
I was gonna say, is this game a side scroller?
No.
Is it a puzzle game?
No.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try and look down the time frame a little bit more. Was this game released between 1995 and 2000, including 1995?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It's 10 down.
We'll clarify the platform. Was this game? Did this game release? Sorry, was it? Oh God, I don't know what this. Was a Game Boy Color required to play this game?
No.
Okay. So it's Game Boy.
It's a fairly late, like, Nintendo Game Boy game.
That's why I wanted to clarify because
Well, like I said, it's published, right? Like I think Nintendo did a ton of publishing, right, in that era.
They did, yeah.
It's not a
Is it-
puzzle game.
is the developer of this title still making games today?
I'm going to assume yes. Yeah, I would say yes.
Does this game have character representation in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
Whoa.
Character representation.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think we've ever asked that question. That's a great one.
That's a good question.
I was thinking of like Game & Watch Gallery.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Game & Watch is in there, but I didn't just want to ask if Mr. Game & Watch was in there because that's dumb.
So we've asked if it's a puzzle game and if it's a side-scrolling game, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna re-answer that one, and without saying a definitive no, I would say I'm pretty sure no.
Okay.
For the
Because
Smash
there's a
Brothers
ton of
one?
like weird, like
Trophies.
In the way that
random
Ollie
bullshit.
just in the way that Ollie just phrased it when he gave his explainer.
Yeah.
Like I would say in that context, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Right. What I mean is like a primary playable character, like somebody that you
Yeah.
select when you go to fight somebody in Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Ultimate.
No, one of the
Yeah, yeah.
700,000 characters that can appear in the background at any moment in
Yeah,
Super
yeah,
Smash
yeah.
Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah.
I think I know what it might be.
Okay. Go. Oh, I just had an idea. Yep, go.
I love this part of the game.
I literally just had an idea, and this is devious if this is what Angelo did.
Thing is, I don't know if the game's been done before. Is this game part of a series?
No.
Angelo, does this game use the Game Boy printer?
Yes.
You son of a bitch. It's the fucking Game Boy camera. I fucking it just lightninged into my brain. I was like, this is the exact bullshit that Angelo would do. All right, does this Game Boy cartridge have a camera attached to it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. There we go.
Uh,
Oh my god, fuck you, Angelo.
All right, I'll just give it to you. So this game was released in 1998, in February in Japan, and then in June in North America and PAL territories in 1998. It released in a variety of colors, and also had a special limited edition gold version to coincide with the release of Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. It was
did not know that.
compatible. I didn't know that either. It was compatible with the entire Game Boy line except the Game Boy Micro, but was also possible via the Super Game Boy for the Super NES and the Game Boy Player for the GameCube. It is the Game Boy camera.
Yeah, this is a great one. I appreciate this.
I know.
This one.
How would you even use that on a GameCube? You'd have to flip the
That's
thing
what
up
I'm
like
thinking.
a
I'm just trying to
Yeah.
imagine somebody using a GameCube the wrong way around to take a photo.
I don't know why that popped
Oh, yeah.
into my head. I was just like, I
was hoping that someone would just be like, oh, does it use a peripheral? Does it have like, the Game Boy cable or something like that? Or
and I'm glad that you
The fact
got it,
you
'cause
asked me
I
for
was
the-
like leaning towards Mole Mania, so you know.
yeah, well,
My-
because the way that you described it, Ollie, when you said like features Game and Watch or whatever, like in it there is a Game and Watch type mini game where I think you use your face and you're like juggling the balls, and that's why I was like, okay, like that's not Game and Watch technically.
No. Yeah.
And I don't
but-
think the camera is in Smash. I don't think it's even like an item or a trophy. or
yeah,
anything
I don't
like that.
know.
No,
it's one
not.
of those weird
I-
ones where
I
like,
looked it
yeah.
up.
Okay, there you go.
But yeah,
No,
Game Boy camera, very good.
Feel good though. I feel good on that one.
That was good.
Alrighty, well that about wraps up this episode of the Vookcast. A very long episode. Be sure to visit the site vooks.net for all your Nintendo news, reviews, and everything in between. To keep up to date, you can follow the site on Blue Sky at vooks.net or jump on over to our Discord at bit.ly/Vooks Discord. There's also a link to the Discord just on vooks.net, so you can find it there as well. You can find all of our social information and links for all of the stories covered in this episode. Probably not all of them, I'll just do recaps. In the episode notes on whatever platform you're listening to. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next show.